Ahoy, land lovers! It's me, your Captain Vasco speaking. Hi, hello, welcome. It is Friday, August 21st, 2026. I promised on the Discord to have a secret for the stream. A secret to nobody is the fact that the latest Krispy Kreme collaboration is with Pokemon, presumably for the 30th anniversary. Pokemon's like all over the shop with the thing it's doing for the anniversary. Let's not concern ourselves with that. Let's instead concern ourselves with the contents of this box, which it won't probably surprise you to know is a Pokemon dozen. Now, let's talk a little bit about this briefly. For one, just genuinely criminal that the Pokemon doesn't contain just like four basic glazed ring donuts. Like what? Come on. I mean, come on. Like what? Come on. But like, there's an interesting. Well, that's interesting. Why did Keen's thing trigger right away? My mom took like a minute and a half. Anyway, Keen, welcome to the stream. Thank you for the well, I guess thank you to Demolition for the ongoing gift sub, but thank you, Keen, for being here. Thank you. Popping in for a bit before I head out to vacation tomorrow. Well then, in that case, let me just like activate the donut button now. Oh wait a minute, I'm supposed to edit something and I didn't. I need to change. This has to go down, and then I have to save it, and then I'm gonna toggle it off and on again, and that's fine. That probably ruined someone's day. Don't worry about it. Yeah. So okay. So also hi Zakula. Welcome to the Vasco the Gamer video game computer show. So I was just revealing that I drove 30 miles in two directions to get a box of Pokemon donuts. It's an interesting value proposition because like I'm mainly used to buying the Halloween dozen. It's the most sort of thematic option. They do seasonal things and like they're not super visually exciting, and they're normally when they do those it's sort of like three different takes on pumpkin spice or something. So with the Halloween ones there's like three to four varieties, and one of them is like, donut with like messy, like incongruous sprinkle allocation that makes it upsetting. This time around, there are five different distinct Pokemon varieties. There's Pikachu, Charmander, Jigglypuff, Bulbasaur, and you guessed it, Squirtle. And then in addition to that, there's Pokeball sprinkles, but from what I can tell, they're regular sprinkles and they don't have the weird large spheres that try to like break your teeth and aren't good, that I don't like at all, that the green/orange disappointment donuts that come with the Halloween dozen typically have. Yeah, so like Neko and Discord had pondered like, oh, what if like why not just buy like a custom dozen and get all the Pokemon donuts you want? And that is a good suggestion. When she was investigating that in the UK, she indicated that there was like a fixed limit to what the dozen would cost, but then that also restricted what donuts you could put in a custom dozen, which is different than how we do it here. Obviously, America be America up in here, where they'll just like charge you extra and you can put whatever you want in it. Now, the issue became when I was looking into this that like, for some reason, each individual Krispy Kreme location will only let you make an order even for the future based on today's inventory, which doesn't make any sense to me. And has probably like low-key caused some confusion and problems for me in the past. But like, they now have a banner on their website that says something like, if you don't see, something to the effect of like, if you don't see the, like, Pokemon donuts available while supplies last, if you don't see what you like, check tomorrow, and like inventory may have changed, something along those lines. And so I checked on like Tuesday and they were out of one. I don't remember which one. And I was like, well, the banner says I can check tomorrow. And maybe if I check like first thing in the morning, then they'll all be there and I can just like do a custom dozen and like get two of all the Pokemon and like have a good time and not have like four generic glazed ring donuts like an absolute bonehead. And then I checked on Wednesday morning and like half of them were out of stock. And so like I couldn't put in that order. But for some weird reason, I was able to like put in an order for like the stupid dozen that contains everything, so at least you get everything, but it also contains the stupid ring donuts. And so I was like, all right, fine, I'll do that to like make sure that I get everything. And then like the next morning I checked because I'm an idiot, and like I should have just not checked is the thing I should have done. And at that point I realized like, oh, like if I'd like waited another day, for some reason I would have had more options instead of less. Because by like Thursday morning everything was like in stock and I could have done the thing I wanted, but like I'd already put in an order and you can't like change it. I'm not even sure you could delete it. I was just like, fine. And then like when I went there today, I just got like a couple extra of ones that I thought were gonna be good, just to have them. Just because like I already drove 30 miles, I might as well not just have a bunch of glazed ring donuts for my trouble. And yes, it is a stupid system. Press, you were able to get them. I will bet they were sold out immediately at our favorite Krispy Kreme in Burbank. I don't know, man. I think all the Krispy Kremes are kind of busted in the same way that I'm increasingly learning more about the system. You just don't have to drive 30 miles for it. But yeah, like they didn't have them when I went to Publix earlier this week, and they also didn't have them. I had to stop at Target, which conveniently was like across the street from the Krispy Kreme, and those are both the closest location, like 30 miles away. And they have like they like right at the front of the store, they have like one of those like Krispy Kreme like affiliate displays or whatever. And I understand what I think I have to fix something live. I'll finish saying what I'm saying though. But they, like if you've been to like a Target or certain grocery stores or whatever, they have these displays that have like the Krispy Kreme logo on them. And, like normally they just have like some boxes of like generic Krispy Kremes, and then like sometimes they'll give you like a limited of like a seasonal assortment. Like for the Halloween ones I've maybe shown off before, that like sometimes I've like gotten, or my mom has gotten me like the more limited one, which usually doesn't have whatever the most exciting donut for the season is, because they want you to like come in and buy that exclusively. But like the like the rest of them will be available, but you get like a half dozen, and normally they still give you some like filler stuff, so you only get like one of each and whatever. And like there was clearly a bit on the Krispy Kreme like kiosk that like has like a sign with a Jigglypuff on it, and they're like, we have Pokemon, and there's obviously not any Pokemon. I got there at like little past 1 in the afternoon. We could talk about that if we want, but it's not as interesting as that sounds. I need to correct something. I need to go to Trigger Fire, and I need to log into Trigger Fire. I changed the name of the donut Redemption so that it didn't just say Halloween, and I forgot to update the corresponding thing that makes a sound alert, because I see that I think Jakey redeemed it. Yes, okay, that is one of these. So what is the thing I need to go to? Yes, this is what I need to change. I need to find the text here. Oh, I'm so not gonna remember to unfix this later. That's fine.
Anyway, beep.
Anyway, beep. Here, I'll just play it for you because my audio routing is garbage.
Donut button, Sam and Max. Donut button.
And when I hit this, that should save for the rest of the stream probably. Lord, put that away. Okay. So that's done and that's done. And Jakey, I merely need you to indicate what is your selected flavor. As a reminder, we have all the Kanto starters, which is Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle. We also have Jigglypuff and Pikachu. We also have Pokeball Donut, but I do need to stress that that's just a sprinkled donut, and the resulting review from that may not be particularly exciting. Charmander it is. Okay. Now, the Charmander one is interesting. I think Charmander is like the big ticket item. It has like sparkle sprinkles. And obviously a little Charmander on it. And it is one of the 2 filled donut varieties. One is Pikachu, one is Charmander. Charmander is allegedly like campfire themed, which means it is like chocolate and marshmallow filling. I think they call it chocolate marshmallow, but I assume it has to be like chocolate and I don't know. We'll see. I mean, the sparkles are really intriguing. They look like something I shouldn't eat. They look like they're straight glitter. But let's have a try, huh? Mm-hmm. Start with the Charmander. Charmander frosting is supposed to have caramel? I don't think I read that. I wonder if that's true. It's possible I forgot it. I guess I personally am a fan of food that doesn't look like food. That's an interesting subject. Does anyone else in chat have strong feelings about that while I eat a whole donut on camera? Also, sparkles is an interesting term that is surprisingly difficult to say, even if it kind of makes sense if you write it out. I think you're right about the caramel. It's a little hard to tell. Oh, look. Some of the recent times I've gotten these filled donuts, like I feel like last Halloween the filled donuts had like no filling and it was kind of a bummer. But there's like a lot going on here. You know, it's interesting. One of the Ghostbuster Halloween donuts had like a heavy marshmallow motif. It was the Marshmallow Man, unsurprisingly. And that was like the best Krispy Kreme donut I'd ever had. And I kind of thought that like Charmander would be like an absolute slam dunk, like having marshmallow filling with like the added chocolate element. And this isn't to say that it's bad, but for whatever reason, I feel like I was more impressed with the straight marshmallow. It is nice though that the metallic sprinkles don't have like, they seem like they would have a really strong texture, but they actually really don't. They're very subtle. Like I feel like if you tasted all the texture of that metal sprinkle, you would not be pleased with it. Something busted makes me feel good. I mean, I think we can all agree with the immortal lyrics of Ghostbusters, which is perhaps objectively the best Halloween song and also objectively a very bad song. For some reason, I'm having a little bit of a difficult time judging this on its own merit. Like I think I had just hyped up the Charmander in my head. It's I think I'd put it as like a A minus. It's it's good. It still has positive aspects of the marshmallow filling. But like somehow the chocolate is detracting from that, so it could be better. The rest of the donut's fine. The presentation's really good. You have to give credit for that. The special sparkles and of course the edible Charmander. And even just the idea that like the fire type is like campfire treat themed is very good. I don't know. I'll give it an A. I still I have to express that I'm somehow disappointed, but it's not bad. You heard the Neil Cicierega version of Ghostbusters? No, not at all. Can I see the filling? I mean, it's mostly gone now, but it's like now it kind of just looks like a Japanese like pork bun or something. But like, it's just like a chocolate layer in there. Well, thanks for stopping by, Keaton. Best of luck. Did you say we're starting vacation tomorrow? I can't scroll up. My hands are covered in donut. But hopefully we will see you tomorrow. That would be delightful. Appreciate you being here. Wait, you've described two very different things. The guy who did Potter Puppet Pals is also Lemon Demon? I really like Lemon Demon, and I didn't have strong feelings at all about Potter Puppet Pals. I did not know this. For the entirety of the time that he has existed, and now, between those two time periods. Obviously, the sprinkles are a little messy, but I don't know. The presentation is top notch for sure. This is certainly among the fanciest donut presentations. A
Did
lot of
someone
the others
say
are
birthday?
very straightforward. Did someone say birthday? I think I've become desensitized to the word birthday. Not that that's the only thing that causes this to happen. Neko says she was also weirdly disappointed by the Charmander donut on her end. Got unlucky with the amount of filling. Well, at the end of the donut I started on, I had quite a lot, and I even commented like I've got like I think it was last year. When was the Ghostbusters one? Was that 2 years ago? I don't know. That one really stuck with me because I really liked the Marshmallow Man one. But like I feel like whatever donuts I had last year, I felt like I had like none filling in them. And this I was pleased by that, but like I kind of just expected more. Do you know the difference in the UK and US versions, Neko? I don't think I do. Jake, you got 2 of every donut available for tomorrow. Excellent. I'm glad that that option is available to you. For the reasons that I spent a bunch of time explaining, like, that's not a given. The system is I think Zacula put it, broken. Like so many things. Two Jigglypuff, 2 Charmander, 2 Bulbasaur, 2 Squirtle. No Pikachu? Not a Lemon fan, or are they out? These sprinkles are a disaster. Oh, they're out. That's interesting. I think Pikachu's, of all the times I checked the website, Pikachu is one of the only ones that's been in stock every time. Also, weirdly, Charmander, who, like, I don't know, I would have figured he was going to sell out constantly. Can I say something controversial about sprinkles? Fire away. I know that you'll have at least, like, one supporter in chat. My mom hates sprinkles, parentheses, food, pretty universally. I have a slightly more nuanced take, and I'm generally pro sprinkles, but they can ruin something. Listen, life's hard. I'm gonna like rinse off my hands. I don't want to like start the stream all sticky. That just seems like a donut recipe for disaster. Sprinkles or Jimmy's. Get out of here with that. All right, I'll be right back, but I'm curious to see Zacula's take. Here, wait. I'll put on the music for you. Enjoy the chair. Be close. Oh, the sticker is causing problems, huh? I should probably do. We both have no flavor usually. I mean, I don't know. I think that's regional. I definitely know places that use sprinkles and Jimmy's interchangeably. Whatever. Zacula says, I think sprinkles are not good. Like, not awful. But I would almost always rather not have them. They don't ruin things, but usually, if given the option, I will take no sprinkles. Also, chocolate sprinkles are better than rainbow sprinkles. I think that's like almost the inverse take for me. Generally, I think sprinkles are good. They can be bad. They can ruin a thing. But like, if given the option, I will usually have sprinkles, and I prefer rainbow sprinkles. Like, almost exactly the opposite in every way. Rainbow sprinkles are fun, but no flavor. I mean, it kind of depends on how you define flavor. They're sort of sugar flavored. They're textured sugar. Uh... Do you see chocolate sprinkles are better than rainbow sprinkles? How homophobic. Now hang on, I'm not sure that's what was going on. I don't think anyone said screw waffles or whatever. Can't agree on everything. No, unfortunately that is the case. What we can agree on is that tonight we're playing Cosmic Express, and I didn't get the game to Prime, so there's the back screen. So what's Cosmic Express? It has no proper story. It's literally just a puzzle game where you go to little domes and plot little train routes for the trains to go throughout space and help the aliens get where they're going, and that's the whole thing. No recap required. Which is nice. I don't know where to start. I should choose something easy so that we can make, like, definite progress. Which means not going to, like, most of the things I left undone. Good job. Let's go to 3. I think I started 3. Yeah, I definitely started 3 and, like, did not succeed at it. How's everyone's week, by the way? I got swept up in my own donut mania. I will say I did go to a lot of trouble to get the donut. I'm glad people are excited about the donut. And Jake, I hope you enjoy the donuts that you're getting tomorrow, I think you said. It's nice that they're not 30 miles away. Doing a 60-mile round trip for a dozen donuts is what I must describe as a fool's errand. Yeah, 5 minutes away is definitely superior. Oh, that's right. That's right. I remember this. Okay, so, you know what? Right, that's not the button I want. I'm gonna hop back to purple 14, just to give a vague sense of what we're doing here. It remembers all the effort I made trying to do this. I'm gonna delete my progress because it wasn't successful and it won't help demonstrate the point. So we started this game in the purple sector. It seems like every color or every sector has a different color, and every colored sector has its own new rule. I don't know how many of them stack or what have you. The first one started with just this concept of, like, you have a train, the train has one car, there's 2 different colors of guys, and you have to drop them off in a sequence where everyone will get to a corresponding station, and then you'll reach the end. That's the whole thing. Zacko says, I like the stinky guys. Yeah, that was like the third iteration we found. First was 2 colors, no frills. Then we got 2 cars, like 2 passenger cars. I think that's the only change to the second sector we tried. And then, like, right at the end of the stream, I was like, I want to see a new rule before we end the stream. And we found, like, a new color of alien, which is, like, green slime guy. And when the slime guy gets in the train car, he makes it smelly, and other aliens refuse to get in it. Only the green ones will go there. This is Vasco. After last week's discussion on Factorio, I decided to give it a try. I've now spent 20 hours optimizing my little factory. You hate Factorio. I don't know how you managed to do this to me. All I said is that, like, I mean, I don't even think I've said that I've tried it, because I haven't. I've seen people play it. I've seen people who are passionate about it, like, show me parts of it, and it just looks miserable to me. And, like, that's basically all I was saying last week, and I don't remember how it came up. I think because someone was comparing, like, optimization of the train pathing. Oh, by the way, we haven't properly started a level, so, like, we're not, like, vastly overdue. Oh, enjoy my bald spot, and now it is train time. Another good reason not to have sticky jam hands. Have you played Dwarf Fortress? No, I think I've seen a little bit of Dwarf Fortress, but what I saw did not compel me to try playing it. Psycho says, in your defense, Vasco, I'm the one who brought it up. I mean, it for sure wasn't me initially bringing it up. Like, I don't dislike the game so much that I would just bring up out of nowhere and, like, and by the way, screw Factorio. Like, no, certainly not. But on a related note, screw the TV show Lucky. It's garbage. I mentioned it, like, a few weeks ago because it stars Anna Taylor-Joy, who is an actress I really like. and I was really excited for it, and it ended this week, and it's not good. I don't recommend it. It's a waste of everybody's time and talent, and it's frankly a little depressing. Not like thematic. It's not like the story is sad. It's just the whole thing is just a bummer, man. Zachary says, I've also heard the new Big Bang Theory spinoff is atrocious. That's funny. I've only heard good things about it. Other than the fact that, like, everyone has agreed that the intro sequence was made by AI and everybody doesn't like that. But, like, other than that, basically everything I've heard about it is, like, surprisingly positive. Except apparently this chat where multiple people agree on it, which is fine. I have no dog in this race. I might try it at some point. Wasn't like a huge fan of Big Bang Theory. I haven't tried the new Green Lantern show. Did watch the new Star Trek with the Muppets. So the premise here is that, you know, I gotta touch this purple guy and get him to a purple station, and then I have to do the same thing for everyone, so that by the end, everyone, a place for everything and everything in its place. And then once that's done, I still gotta leave room for myself to get to the other end. It's like the third or fourth Big Bang Theory spinoff. I think it depends on how you define them. It's definitely at least the third, right? Because there's Young Sheldon. And then I would argue almost that Young Sheldon spins off into, like, Georgie and somebody's first marriage or whatever. Which I've seen, like, 5 minutes of because it came on after something else. And it's not that those 5 minutes were, like, so bad that I was like, boo the show. But, like, that's all I've seen and I'm not going to comment on it. Is there like another one other than like those two and now like Stewart fails to save the universe or whatever? So what I had before was like something like this. It was like touch this and then like touch this and then touch this. There's just Yeah, I can see why I left it in this state or whatever. You're trying so hard to make fetch happen. You mean with all the Big Bang spinoffs? I would disagree in that whether you like them or not, they're successful. That's what's happening. They're successful with an audience that doesn't overlap with your Venn diagram, but like clearly the fact that they're on the fourth spinoff means they're still making money off of it. So like, you cannot like it, you can be critical of it, but like, it's working for someone. I will say, I did see a little bit of Young Sheldon, and even though like the premise sounded dreadful, the show itself, what I saw, was not bad. I saw like a couple good episodes and a couple okay episodes. Not enough to compel me to like watch it all the time, but like I've caught a few episodes and been like, sure, I'll watch that, and mostly enjoyed them. Looks like Stewart from Big Bang Theory is trying to be Doctor Who. My understanding is it's more like Sliders. Is it really like Doctor Who? I guess that's not hugely surprising. Is there like a world where... No, I can't really like do purple corner guy first, because like then I'll never get out of here. But like I could do this. That like... wait, does that work? I do this and then pick up this guy? No, that still doesn't work, because, like, I can't get back. I can't, like, pick up purple and then get back here and, like, still cross over to, like, this corner where I have to be. Doctor Who meets Sliders. I mean, that, like, sounds good. It's fun to boop the little aliens. I don't know why. I mean... It made conceptual sense to go back to the most difficult thing in the first segment to show off what the basic rules are like. But also, I couldn't solve this last week, so I don't know why it seemed like a good place to start in that respect. This feels interesting, though. This feels like it's almost something. The problem is merely that I don't have 2 cars. Of course, if I did, this whole thing would be really stupid. Yeah, that obviously doesn't work. I feel like I'm close here, though. Like, I think you just do the bottom purples first, don't you? Is there a reason why you would want to do something that's not that? Okay, hold on. I'm having a weird thought. What if I got this guy first, and then hit this? Then, is there a way that I can basically do the same route I was doing before, and then I don't have to worry about this guy, and then the whole thing is, like, actually really trivial? Is that possible? So pick up, drop off. No, not remotely, because then I pick up this guy. I'm, like, completely screwed. It still could maybe lead to something. So I do that, and I drop him off. And I just have, like, the same issue as before, but in reverse, right? Maybe I don't. I would need... Hang on. I, like, specifically do that. I mean, that's not super helpful. No. Oh, but I wouldn't be able to touch the corner purple before hitting the station. It's a very similar problem to what I had before. Anyone watching anything that's, like, actually good? I'm watching a bunch of stuff I like, but I feel like I'm not hearing a lot of people be positive about stuff that's on right now. Maybe that's mostly because, like, the community discourses I'm looking at are shows that I think are disappointing. Which is, you know, the problem with the internet. In general. We love to hate. Myself included. Is this... No, because then I still have... What if I... No, there's really no way to drop off orange without... Oh, that's almost interesting. The problem is, ooh, no, you would still pick him up over here. That's not negotiable. I'm enjoying the fall of the House of Usher. Is that ongoing? Is that an older one? I haven't heard anything about a current fall of the House of Usher. Zach says, I'm not watching anything really, just painting and reading. Currently reading What Feasts at Night, which is a sequel to What Moves the Dead. I'm also reading Infinite and the Divine. I did see your photo on that. I don't know anything about any of those books that you haven't already told me yourself. Pick up, drop off. Be kind of neat to, like, do both sides and go up the middle, but that, like, really goes against the spirit of this entire video game. There's no way. Is there, like, some really quirky way where I, like, deal with this guy, then deal with these, and then do this one? I feel like no, right? I have heard some good things about Furious, and not only from my mom in chat. My mom and I talk a lot of TV on a regular basis, so generally I know her opinions on what she's watching. And also what she's watching. Boy, this is a tough one. Anyone have any idea how to get the aliens where they're going? Zoop, 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 zoop. If I was going like purely north, this is like kind of how you would have to do it, right? I mean, I guess you could go through the middle and doink them, but I feel like you get no value for that. I think you would be better off one and dropping it off. But if you do that, don't you like necessarily make the other one impossible to get? Like if I like wrap the track around this guy to drop him off, and like you just like always have to pick the other one up right away, and that causes problems. I kind of feel like you have to do some kind of extreme purple start. It could be the case that you don't do the far purple. That seems harder. Also, fall on Netflix. There's naming only things I have no idea what they are, which is intriguing. Do keep meaning to start Widow's Bay. Zach, I think you will like Widow's Bay. It's really good. It's so like my understanding is that Widow's Bay like literally started in concept as a spec script for Parks and Rec that was like way too weird to be an actual episode of Parks and Rec because it like hinted at like supernatural stuff. And so like instead they just made like a really awesome TV show about it, which has genuinely one of my like top picks for like best episode of television of all time that I like alluded to earlier this year in Standby. I guess that would still drop off purple. But if I did this, it would be inherently problematic because I mean, maybe I could do that in particular. That would drop off the orange without cutting this off forever. This is like so close to working, it's like really annoying. The problem is just that like I can't like go back and pick him up and then cross back over the same trap. I think if you pick up top orange and take him down around to bottom orange house, and then curve back down to grab the purple you missed to take him to purple house. Obviously, any like description of this video game is like impossible to comprehend. Okay, hold on. My instinct is this sounds impossible, but that could clearly be wrong. So pick up top orange and take him down around to bottom orange. Oh, that already looks extremely difficult to reconcile, but okay. And then curve back down to grab the purple you missed to take him to purple house. But then, I mean, I'm not sure if you had a different like precise route in mind, but like I think most versions of that have you trapped in the corner forever. And also like the second orange guy is like trapped. The placement of the tracks is very... Not the tracks, the stations, or whatever you want to call the boxes. Best episode of television ever made is actually Let's Go Eat Some Italian Food from part 4 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. That is also a really good episode of television. I'm not sure I'd personally put it in top 5, but it's an extremely good JoJo episode. And also just a really good TV episode, I'd agree. I still think that the like gambling episode in I think they're in Cairo when it happens in like series 2 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is the best JoJo's Bizarre Adventure I've seen. By the way, on the subject of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, didn't they do like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Cannonball 1 for like a single episode and then like not produce anymore? Am I insane? Like what happened there? Like I wanted like some of it to like be backed up so that I could like watch through it. So I still haven't watched it. But for like a month and a half, I just kept checking back and they're like, one episode. I'm like, do you understand how television works? Like, what are you doing? Like, is that something they explained that they were going to do or why they have done it? It doesn't make any sense. Like, it had already been like several years since the last JoJo installment, hadn't it? I know it was like kind of late to the party, but it took like a few years from the time I saw it, I felt like. Grab top orange without going through any friends and take him to bottom orange around the outside going down and to the right. I don't think that's possible. So, like, if I go this way, right, it would never be possible to get this guy again because he's covered on, like, 3 sides, and that's a miss. If I was to go around this side, then, like, I don't think it would be possible to pick up this purple guy. I guess you could do that, right? Maybe you're onto something. And then, like, get this guy and drop him off here. And then this guy... This feels like this has the same problem that all of my permutations on this have, though. So, like, I believe... So this gets picked up and dropped off here. And then pick up this guy and drop him off later. And then immediately pick up his friend and drop him off earlier. And then pick this guy up and drop him off immediately. No, we have this guy and drop him off and then pick him up and drop him off there. But like this is not doable though. Because you have to, if you could make it so that this guy was being dropped off here, then you could do like this. But because you pick this guy up after this guy, and you would have to, the way this works out, then you like have to drop off orange here or you can't even pick up purple. What do the yellow guys do? Assuming that's an actual game-related question. Neither the orange nor the purple has any, like, truly distinct features other than being a unique color, as far as I know. Maybe they'll, like, establish them later on. The green ones are the only ones that have, like, a super weird property so far. That's the thing. The orange on the far right does not get picked up because you have a purple. No. But because you... Okay, so you pick up this guy and you drop him off. You pick him... Oh, no, you're right. No, you're right. You're right. But... So then you would pick him up and drop him off immediately and pick him up... No, I think Neko's got it. Does that work? That's quirky, man. It's not a good way to start the stream. Good on you, Neko. I think that works. Netflix was basically like, hang on, we got an achievement, and that didn't immediately do anything. Okay. I know the game has, like, in-game achievement tracking, and it's, like, cloud menu. I wasn't sure if that, like, unlocked something. So Netflix was basically like, we're going to release the first episode now, and then another batch of episodes at some point we don't specify in the future, and then we'll maybe release another one at another unspecified time, and we will not explain why we're doing this. Also, screw you. And Jakey adds, also charge you $14. Oh my god. So my internet service provider got merged with Verizon. It feels like it got bought, but merged with Verizon. Now, I don't have a lot of experience with Verizon, but the experience I had with Verizon when my family like still lived in the Philly area was like not great. These are getting really hard and stressful. So that's like the hardest one in the first mode. I kind of just wanted to get that done, but wasn't really committed to doing that. Let's leave some of these harder ones in the second area for now. Let's like take a breather and look at some of these easier ones in like Salmon or whatever. But so like my internet service provider like got merged with another company. So like I have Frontier, and they merged with Verizon. And then like at the start of this week, I got a bill for like, you know, my monthly internet service, and it was like $15 higher than it was all previous months, which was a like 23% increase roughly, with like no real like explanation given. And so like I like called and did the whole like threatened to cancel and whatever, and then they just like gave me the same promotional introductory rate that like everyone else is supposed to get if they just sign up for new services. And like I know this is a thing that's existed forever. I've never had to do it personally. Like for all the problems that Spectrum has, and you know they were my internet service provider for like the entire time I was in California because they're pretty much it. But like man, it sucked. The thing that really incensed me though is like I like just wanted like what is the company line on like why this makes sense? Like what's the justification you're giving for like why like the same service requires $15 more? And their answer was like something along the lines of like, well, we're investing in our future. It's like we're improving the company by like investing in it. I'm like, that's it sounds like I'm investing in the future of your company and you didn't consult me and I'm not getting anything from it because my services are all the same. And they're like the stuff that they're like, oh well, you know, we'll like double your internet speed. I'm like, my internet speed is sufficient. I would like to not spend a bunch of extra money for the amount of speed I need. That's why I paid this amount for this service. And then they were like, oh, well, like, why don't you just like change your cell phone to like a Verizon cell phone? And then we'll like basically like waive the increase. I'm like, so you're trying to extort me into using your other services? Or else you're threatening me with, like, an increased rate? You realize how criminal that sounds? So, like, I just had to waste, like, a half hour on it. And, like, the first guy... I don't think he meant anything by it, but he was really pissing me off pretty bad. I had a real bad time with that whole experience. So, as a reminder, I mentioned this earlier. This is one of the new rules we found is Green Alien. Let's just do a quick... Let's just do this. Let's pick up Green Alien and drop off Green Alien and then like try to drop off an orange. Just like obviously this won't work, but I just want to demonstrate the point for those just joining us. So we get the green guy and we drop him off. But look, it's still green and stinky and the alien will not get in it. Even if I pass him 3 times, he will not. He is not interested. As far as I can tell, it doesn't wear off naturally. There might be like a mechanic elsewhere in the game where like you can clean it. You go through like a train wash or something. But yeah, I love the look of the green guy, and obviously I like green as a color. But like yeah, it's a new mechanic. I'm sure there's like a bunch of these. I have no idea how long this game is. It's really cute. But so like one thing I had deduced towards the end of the stream is like I pretty much know that this is more or less the path I have to take out of here. Like at the very least like this. So like I have to find a way to like drop off both of the orange guys, then pick up green last, and then like have, you know, green get dropped off probably on this side so that he can exit. If they don't like stinky train, they can walk home. I mean that's true, but also against the spirit of the game. Spectrum won't even do a discount until you ask to cancel. And apparently the same with the newly merged Verizon Frontier entity. So the problem is like get them both dropped off. Without boxing green in. There's that F1 race happening in DC this week. I appreciate the information, but you do assume that that's something I've heard of. And being outside of DC and also an idiot, I have not. It's heinous. I bet it's heinous. I have some understanding of what happened when they tried to bring racing to the streets of Vegas, and it sounded stupid, and it seems like it was really stupid. There's like, is there? No, there's no way I could like do that orange and then do that and then pick up green. Like that just boxes up too much space. Just have to get green home, but you get boxed in is the thing. I guess you can You can save some... Oh, you can save some... Oh, that's like... That's close, but it can't get you there. But you obviously can't pick up green first. That's the whole point. So you would have to do this guy second. Maybe there's a way to, like... No, because you do sort of have to touch that. Because I think, yeah. So you drop him off. Yeah, the problem is like specifically that there's like not another space here, or that this guy isn't further down. Zaka says, so people have had to deal with delays on the train because for some reason they can't just put those cars on a truck. They're bringing the F1 cars on the metro tracks. Except they can't put them on a truck because once they got to switching stations, they put race cars on a truck and took them the rest of the way. I mean, it sounds more efficient to like have it go on the train for some amount, but I definitely get how annoying that is. Not trying to justify it. It sounds not good. Or maybe I just don't. I mean, like, that's obviously like a huge problem because you'd never pick up green again. It feels like I'm meant to make use of this edge space in some way that's not, like, immediately obvious to me. Ooh, hang on. What if I, like... Oh my god. Alright, that's a... No, that's a physical space. That's right, I'm being dumb. I can't just drive through the platform he stands on. It's raised. That makes this difficult. I'm just kidding. It doesn't, like, at all. I pick him up. I drop him off. I pick him up. I drop him off. Wait, no, that doesn't make any sense. I lost track of what I was doing somewhere in there. I'm not... Listen, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I am unwell. I am in, like, a mentally, like, awful state. I've had, like, a really bad week. I am not doing good. I'm, like, really on the verge of, like, having, like, a mental breakdown, I think. I'm, like, not good. So, like, I really just ended up doing this game because it's cute, because people were interested, and because I like it. But, like, trying to do a puzzle game when you're, like, completely melted from the inside is not a good idea, and I don't recommend it. Pick him up. Drop him off on the way. Pick him up. No, wait. Pick him up here. Drop him off. Pick him up. Just do it and see if it works. Don't think about it. Okay, I had to have faith in like 2 seconds ago, Vasco, which I was physically incapable of doing. Okay, 3 done. Progress. Haven't looked at 4 yet. 4 looks simpler than 3, but that might be a lie. I mean, it does involve crisscross applesauce, which, like, could be a whole problem. The real problem is that you can't get anywhere near the green... Wow, actually, this sucks. Looks like it's awful. Oh boy. How's everyone else doing, like, 3 weeks into August? Zaka says, literally this whole summer has been so annoying. Every week I've been subjected to some new horror that inconveniences me for some America 250 garbage. Some that I can't even type sentences that make sense. I mean, I can't read sentences that make sense. I'm only able to read the things you're writing, so keep it up. I'm gonna talk over whoever plants these house placements. I agree, Neko. It just seems like if our it just seems to me like if our elected representatives would make decisions based on the benefits of the people, that like we wouldn't end up with this crisscross nonsense. The problem is like if like everything was mirror swapped, this I think would be easy. The problem is just that you can't do green first, or you ruin everything. But like, how do you pick up orange without like cutting off green forever? Probably like no. Because then you'd, like, dead end at the green station. At least in the alien world of tiny trains, segregation is a good thing. I don't think I would go that... Like, I understand the sentiment, but I think that's too close to the risk of me getting canceled just to say that. As it stands, I assume someone's already taken a clip of that out of context. Man, I tried making a Twitch clip for the first time in like years, like a week ago, and it feels a lot more complicated than it used to be. How would I ever do this? Like that, but then like you block off green. It's just completely surrounded.
Giraffe.
Maybe you could like just plow straight through the orange alien and make him go. So,
Junior, the youngest and most horrible of the elder gods.
Zagula, I assume that you normally get some amount of like convention and event related garbage. Like I understand the political ramifications of it being 2026 and all that garbage of what we're trying to get done in Washington D.C. But like, how drastically different is this from another year? Because like I assume like random garbage like this happens. Might want to work backwards on this one. Pretty much know that we have to like end by touching the green platform in some capacity. So we could do something like this. But this would then have to touch this and then this, which seems difficult. Maybe like this? Oh, it's so close. No, that works, right? You pass by the orange box and ignore it. Then get the orange guy and drop him off. Then green and then green. Okay, I'm dialing back in. We're gonna get a couple puzzles done.
Giraffe.
Look at my posture. What an indication of how how like fried I am. I'm really trying to improve my posture. I have bad posture and I've become like increasingly aware of it lately. It's much easier starting from the track end. It was in that case. It's something I should keep in mind more often. I was like thinking about it at like the end of the last stream and like not up until that point. But I think with green in particular, it will be helpful a decent amount of the time. Here where there's like 2 to do, it feels like that might be less the case. This is also a crisscross applesauce. But what's fun is we've got a fun decorative lamppost. There were some like decorative bushes in one of the harder like pink ones. So obviously we must find a way.
I'll use this knife
To get to purple and orange first. And then do both greens, which sounds extraordinarily difficult. Ooh, actually, no. we have 2 cars for some reason this time, in a way that we did not before. Which presents an opportunity by Zeus to save the video game. Do you think purple also hates Stinky? I believe we established that's the case. Let's just do a demonstration run. If we, like, drop off one and then try to pick up purple and then, like, drop off purple. Like, this obviously won't win, but, like, I'm pretty sure we demonstrated that, like, both purple and orange don't like it in, like, the first one from this section. Yeah, that's a no for me, dog. One car is stinky, but one can be free. Exactly. With the 2 cars, we can, like, clear one green guy and just use the other car to do all the other business. In theory. It still kind of sounds miserable, but I think it's doable. So it's like that to drop him off. And then we pick up orange. Yeah, and orange will pick up in the one that's free. Yeah, because both of them will pass it. So he'll get in one of them. And then green will get in the other. And I assume that works? I'm not really thinking that hard about it, but I think that's right. Alright, it worked out. Like it says, these aliens are whack, dude. Anyone who takes transit with any regularity has learned to be okay with the occasional stink. I mean, it is a hazard, right, of public transportation. It's not glamorous, but it's what gets the job done. Okay, we're at 2 cars again. Oh, and this is a split. So there's 2 different ways to solve this that open up different levels. I assume we're doing something similar to last time. No, you can't pick up both greens. That's cruel. But how do you, That sounds real bad.
Oh my, no!
Agreed. Pick up the green.
Squeak, squeak.
Probably have to be more careful about this than I want to be. Or maybe not. But I think by the nature of this start, I have to end here to drop off the last green, I think is what I'm doing. You can get both greens by not dropping orange off. I think that's kind of true. But, like, you can't kind of do them both at once. Because then I think you wouldn't be able to pick up orange again. I think you'd have to route in a messy way that, like, encircles that whole platform. But, like, pick up orange in car 1. And then pick up drop off green. And then pick up green in car 2. And then drop off orange. So then what I want to... Oh, that's not going to work, is it? Because I'd have to...
Daddy does not approve!
No, wait, maybe this just ends on the right, and that's fine. You would have to, after dropping off orange, you should pick up other orange. No, but you couldn't end this way because you'd, like, box yourself in a corner. The end bit, like, automatically snaps. I'm fascinated by people just, like, using the points when we've got, like, donuts to do. I mean, they're your points to spend as you please. I've set up all this nonsense for you.
Not sure what blowing on that will achieve.
You know what? I was fixated too much on trying to solve this by blowing on it. So it's a real problem for one such as me. You missed buttons. You know what? I too. It has been too long since I've watched the Animaniacs and seen Mindy and Buttons. Surely that's what you meant. Is there? No, it wouldn't make more sense to try and save the corner. That's harder to get to. Tried to do donuts and it won't let me. There's a cooldown so that I don't die of rapid onset diabetes. I think it's an hour. It's whatever it normally is on Halloween, which I think is an hour. Wait, did the donut? Beep. I didn't hear the donut button alert. It should be fixed. Do I have to like refresh something? Oh, brother, come on. I cannot catch a break this week with both hands standing still on a perfectly like dry level playing field. So this is up and it has this name. And oh, you know what? I probably have to refresh the but it's so annoying to do that live. I hate doing that. First off, try refreshing this page, which should have donut button at the top. It's exactly the same as before. I'm gonna do it manually again for the sanctity of it.
Donut button, Sam and Max. Donut button.
But I think the thing I have to fix is like I have to go to give me a sec. Hold on, I'll be right back. I'm gonna disappear. Hold on. Hypothetically, that might fix it, but there's only one more redeem for the stream because I can't. I warped so much of my day around making donuts happen, so I'm just splitting it 3 and 3 for today and for tomorrow. There's an alert. I added it last Halloween and then like forgot I did it for last Halloween and then kept being surprised by it and then like remembered it today and now it's not working because I changed the name of the alert so that it didn't just say like Halloween. I didn't want to make a whole new alert because I didn't have a lot of time because my life sucks. Like just so Neko. What do you want? We got everything other than Charmander. And you're not allowed to pick plain glazed donut because I'll fist fight you, is the outcome from that. And I don't think you want that. Request Squirtle because we do not have it in the UK. I also remember, obviously as mentioned earlier, I was not able to locate the like limited Pokemon donuts at any of the like ancillary stores that do that. But I know that the small collection didn't have Squirtle in it. So like I did get an extra Squirtle donut for me to have it because I wasn't sure what life would have. It looks really good. I'm not sure I'm down with the bubble. You know what? Those are probably the same nonpareils they put on the Pikachu, which are probably fine. But like I really just like the water swirl. And obviously Squirtle is very good. Man, I should go get some donuts. Me every day, literally all the time, Zacula. So come on. So the Squirtle donut is an interesting choice. I would have thought maybe like blueberry as the default flavor. They went cotton candy, which is interesting. It does look very fluffy. And I'm intrigued by like the look of the texture on the there's sort of a sprinkle coated layer and then like a more like pasty layer on top of that. Cotton candy's not my favorite flavor. It's a good flavor. It is my nephew's favorite flavor, and it amuses the heck out of me. That boy loves cotton candy. Like Kel loves orange soda. It's so good. Techno says they should have gone full send and had it flavored like river water. Why? When I was picking this up from the Krispy Kreme, 30 miles away, there was only like one other customer, and I don't know what she was doing because she like came in with like paperwork and business cards, but like it didn't seem like she was just like applying to work there. It seemed like she was trying to convince like a random. She didn't seem like the manager. She could have been the manager, but like who seemed like a random employee to like sign on to some like business to business. It was whatever was going on was bizarrely complicated. But like as the other clerk who was there was sort of like packing my order with all the Pokemon donuts, she was like looking at the donuts and for some reason seemed to be asking me like, what's in the Charmander donut? And I was like, oh, it's like a chocolate marshmallow. And she's like, oh, okay. I mean, like, my kid's favorite is Pikachu, but I know he's not gonna like the lemon flavor. And I saw like a similar sentiment. Someone was like, Squirtle's my favorite, but like, ew, cotton candy, barf. And I was like, I don't have that strong feelings about cotton candy. It's so fluffy. The icing is fascinating. It's very pleasant. The flavor is not very strong. Which I guess, I don't know, cotton candy. But man, whatever it is they use to swirl that cream is delightful. Why does that icing look like the texture Charmander should have been? I mean, which part? Because there's kind of like a intense, darker sprinkle layer and like a smooth, like... It really looks like some sort of like paint or epoxy, but it's just delightful. River water has the minerals your body craves. Also, cryptosporidium. Oh, man. The fluffy part. I don't know. I mean, maybe they should all just have the fluffy part because I really like the fluffy part. I'm intrigued by the Bulbasaur one, which is like vanilla flavored, which makes it sound like it's like barely themed at all. Mystifying donut. It's so strange to me specifically because like Krispy Kreme is usually like kind of bad about texture for their regular donuts, I find. But like I really don't get much cotton candy flavor, which makes sense because cotton candy's not usually a really strong flavor. But like it's all about like the creaminess of the icing. And it's really nice. And like there's just like there's like a hint of texture from the like blue water sprinkles that like mixes it up a little. Honestly, I could probably do without that, but I just there's something delightful about this. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's like the same type of sprinkles that are on the Charmander, but like more evenly dispersed. I think it's supposed to have vanilla crepe inside. Vanilla crepe. Nico says, I went off candy floss for a while, got some freshly made stuff last month, and it was so good. Freshly made candy floss is really good, even though it seems like it shouldn't have a flavor. I think I've gotten like fresh cotton candy like once or twice in my life, and I enjoyed it. I've also had like bagged or packaged stuff, and it's definitely worse. It's definitely worse. But like, I don't know. I even the good stuff I've had, I think of as being a really subtle flavor. It's also kind of more about the texture, which I guess is maybe the point they were going for. I don't know. It's interesting. All I know for sure is I want them to make the whole airplane out of whatever the black box is of the smooth icing. That's a good time, man. I think that's like I think that's an A+ donut. It's possible I'm like overselling it a little. I don't think just because it's Squirtle. I honestly was all set for the Squirtle to be a little disappointing. But like, I really like the look of it. So the presentation was really nice. The fact that it has Squirtle helps in that regard. But like, it just looked good. I thought thematically the like swirl of water worked really well. They just nailed the texture, and like the flavor's not that like, even if this was just billed as like fun decorated like regular like vanilla icing donut, I'd be like, that's a really good, like, it tastes better than like their normal regular iced donuts do to me. I mean, I don't remember any of the literature talking about vanilla filling to the Squirtle. Maybe the other streak is supposed to be vanilla? That might be plausible. Vanilla can be a subtle flavor, and maybe that is why the cotton candy's drowned out a little. I mean, maybe I'd feel differently about rating it myself if I was really attached to the cotton candy flavor, because it's not very strong, but like, that was a treat. I enjoyed that quite a bit. I give it an A+. That might be a little biased, but like, that's mostly everything I want out of a Krispy Kreme experience. I think the only like S tier I've ever given was the Marshmallow Man, the like very special Marshmallow Man donut from like the one Halloween, which like had like a novel, excellent filling that was like perfectly thematically tied into its delightful design. It was just like the best possible donut they could make. But like, I don't know. That's my take. I'm gonna do another hand rinse because I don't want. I'll be honest about this. It's ant season again. It seems like late summer every year. I get some ant scouts in the house, and they mostly kill themselves off just like wandering around the main hallway and causing me like a bunch of headache trying to clean up where they all die. But like, you know, I'm just a little more sensitive to the idea of just like leaving any extra residue right now. So I'm just gonna be right back, and then we'll do some train stuff. I too am glad that Squirtle didn't disappoint. Like, if it wasn't that great, it would have been fine. I got a Squirtle. I definitely wanted to have a Squirtle. But that was good. I like that. Okay. Considering the current state of trying to find edible food in the US, cryptosporidium doesn't actually seem so bad. I mean, we're definitely in a bleak utopia or dystopia of our own creation where all like packaged food is somehow safer to eat than like natural produce, which for a guy like me means like not an incredible amount has changed to my diet, but like it's a wild time to be alive. Similar subject, and I mentioned this on the Discord. I'm not sure if everyone saw it. I posting last week's installment of Cosmic Express got delayed a little bit because when I uploaded it, it got flagged on YouTube for like copyrighted content. And like I almost didn't look into it because I figured like, oh, those guys gave me the game for free, like why even bother like trying to work around it? Like they could just like claim money on it. I don't make money on my YouTube VODs because I'm not cool or popular. But then like I did check it just for good measure, and like the copyright claim was that I had somehow used like a piece of piano music from like Silent Hill Homecoming, I think in particular. And that got me all riled up. I'm like, it's just like continuous footage of me playing Cosmic Express. It has like one looping background song. How could you possibly mistake this for Silent Hill Homecoming? Yeah, I don't know. I think like a past version of me would say something similar, Zacula. Like now I'm like trying to eat a little healthier, so like I'm a little more empathetic to people who are like actually trying to eat real food. But yeah, I mean like take that, people who try to shame me into thinking my 8 different iterations of things that are basically a frozen pizza are not healthy food. Okay, so where are we at? Stinky guys. So I think the trick here is to like try and lock one spot for orange. There's probably a couple ways of going about that, but I do think it's like, ooh, is that something? Not really, huh? So get orange, get green in slot 2, drop off green. We have orange in slot 1. Then we pick up green in slot 2 again. How would I go about... That just doesn't seem possible. Like, it's just not possible to, like, loop around here, like in any capacity. So you would have to end there, wouldn't you? Isn't that like the only realistic takeaway? By the way, the ending of that story is like, I got mad enough about that I re-rendered the video with like the section they got mad about decreased to like -10 decibels, and they'd stop caring because YouTube's whole system is garbage and like doesn't actually care. It just like is automated. It's basically spiteful AI, like so many things that exist today in 2026. What a great time to be alive. Is there a world where it makes more sense to... No, that's gotta be worse, right? Because then you just like trap green or trap yourself. Like that's clearly worse. But what, hang out, what if take green in slot 1, take orange, drop off green in slot 1, get green in slot 1, still can't solve it. What about that? Have you considered that? Now hang on. What if we curve around to here and do it like that? That works, right? Green in slot 1, orange in slot 2, ignore green. Empty slot 1, green in slot 1, drop off green. And then we... And then we... kind of still want to do the greens together, right? I don't know about that. It doesn't look doable. I guess it's possible to end in either way. Okay, so hear me out. Drop off orange. Pick up orange before running into either of the other guys. Pick up a green. Drop off orange. Drop off green. Pick up, drop off, leave. I think that gets me left. Assuming I haven't somehow over or underthought that. Yeah, that looks good. Man, the green guys sound really distressed to be dropped off. Not my house. Okay, but like, how do I do the right path, you think? I do think it's possible that you could use the front half. Like, that seems like a viable way to clear all of that business. So at this point, I've dropped off both green. And I know what my destination is, which helps a little bit. I think it would be something... Like, in theory, I think I'd be doing something like... that to end with, where I keep orange the whole, like the orange I load up here, I keep all the way until here, and then that same slot gets filled with this guy who I drop off before the end. Can't you move out to the woods to live as a hermit because I'd need internet or go crazy. To have internet out there, I need Starlink. Yeah. Or you could get, like, HughesNet is a thing that I understand to, like, exist in certain, like, kind of deep rural areas, but I've heard no good things about HughesNet. I know, like, one YouTuber who uses it and has, like, constant problems with it, and then when I had to deal with my own internet service provider, like, one of the Google results was like, who is the worst internet service provider? And it was like, HughesNet. The service is just very bad. Did you hear about Texas' new cannabis laws? Like 4 grams of something that was fully legal 2 weeks ago gets you life in prison. Oh, that's great. That's very progressive. Love that. I'm no fan of marijuana, but like, I don't see this helping anybody. The problem is that I gotta get all these green guys where they're going. So I pick up this guy, and I drop him there. But that doesn't leave me any way to get back. Can I... No, you just can't do that, huh? There's like no way to use that space you wouldn't be able to cross back over, huh? I don't think I can use the same start. I think I'd have to do something else. Because, like, in order to, like, reach this point, like, I just don't think there's enough space to double back. Let me just try examining the idea that, like... to say I drop off orange, and then... yeah, I mean, this is a very similar type of problem, right? Like, I get green. Yeah, like you just... okay, I'll start over. I'll start over. I think life is easier if you start with... Trying to drop off the orange without dropping off the green. I think you pretty much necessarily stink up both of your cars, and that's obviously a problem. Super obvious it was the alcohol lobby that made it happen, because when people have legal access to weed, they tend to drink less alcohol. I mean, I certainly don't know enough about vices to know if that's true, but I do know that, like, every report in the last, like, 10 years has been like, man, the kids just don't drink that much these days, huh? Much like, I feel like I've been seeing, like, an insane amount of news stories about, I forget the name of the thing. Like, we're, like, below the repopulation point or whatever. Like, basically, like, younger people aren't having so many kids, and, like, everyone's like, why not? It's like, why do you think, man? When my, like, internet service provider was, like, threatening to, like, increase my rate by, like, $15 a month, I practically, like, just died of a heart attack, man. Liquor company's been scrambling hard to figure out how to get Gen Z to drink. Man, you know what's been making me crazy? I've been seeing these ads, I think on YouTube, for, like, I forget what the brand name is. It's something stupid. It's like, it's not literally this, but it's something stupid like this, but, like, radical nicotine. And it's like, I think it's like chewing tobacco or something, which, like, other than baseball players, has anyone ever, like, had, like, indulged in that vice? But then, like, the thing that I think is really funny, and like, I appreciate them erring on this side of caution, but it just makes the ads seem even dumber than they already are. There's, like, an enormous, like, top third of the screen has to be like, radical nicotine is a nicotine product. You know, like, whatever the actual name is. But it's like, I mean, it's, like, in the name, so, like, yeah, kind of figured. But, like, again, like, I'd rather have it be that kind of stupid than just, like, letting people, you know, get into a bad situation without knowing about it. But, like, it's just such a, like, the commercials are so stupid. Oh, Cotillion, welcome to the stream. How are you? You've missed some Pokemon donuts. There have been some Pokemon donuts. Chewing tobacco is a thing in Canada? Really? Really? But why male models? God, my brain is so stupid. It really wants to just, like, pick up both of the green guys and then just, like, drop them off. Because, like, isn't that efficient? It's a thing in rural America. Like, where? This doesn't matter, but, like, I've like, only ever seen this, like, depicted in, like, old-timey, like, baseball things. It's, like, obviously incorrect. Is there, like, a world where... So I got one green guy already, right? Ooh, here's a stupid thought. This can't be right at all. I'm trying to exit right, aren't I? There's, like, no shot this makes any sense. So this was the start I used last time. To exit left. It felt like it wouldn't work here. Don't know if that's true. Although, so I keep orange, right? Like, I haven't let go of the first orange I picked up, so I get one green after doing the first two greens. And then I drop... So I do, like, a really similar thing, right? Like, I drop him off, and I pick him up, and I drop him off, and then I drop... But then I can't get back out. That's really close, though. Can I modify that so that I only pick up... So say I do that, right? So I do drop off the orange. And I pick up one green. And then the orange. There's still... Well, hang on. No, that doesn't work. Because the green one will go in the first spot, right? But hear me out. What if I simply reverse the pickup order? So I get green first. Then, when we get around to here, the first spot goes to green. And then the second goes to orange and was never filled with green. And then we, like, drop off green, pick up green, do that. I think that works. Let's just find out. I really like the concept of these, like, split levels. They're really annoying, though. If I was smarter, I might appreciate them even more. But we did. Okay, now I don't have to worry about either split. There was like a way where I didn't just spend a bunch of time on the same level, but I opted not to do that. Speaking of which... Oh no, this doesn't have 2 exits. Well, it looks like it does on the map. That's fine. I guess this is a random question. If you were to choose between sad plain ring donut they put in every box of themed Krispy Kremes to the infamous orange disappointment, which would you choose? Not close, plain donut. Like, the plain donut is not good. The orange/green disappointment is called such because it's worse than not having a donut. It's awful. Like, the plain glazed donut ring is like a sad, uninspired donut that at the end of the day is still a sugary confectionery treat. The texture of the disappointment and also the presentation are both heinous. Like, I disagree that it's pretty. It's disgusting. It's unpleasant to look at. It's not good to eat. I don't like it. I'm glad that the, like, Pokeball donut, which is, like, similar in concept as a filler donut to the disappointment, like, at least uses a regular type of sprinkles that, like, aren't, like, a tragedy. It has only regular, like, one regular consistent type of sprinkle on it. Not the, like, mishmash of bad textures, including the really hard, largish sphere sprinkles that are deeply unpleasant. Just noticed the shirt. Congratulations on the donut evolving in your stomach. I mean, I was wearing the shirt the whole time, but it would actually be really funny if I had been, like, changing the shirt depending on what I was eating, right? Forgot about the sphere sprinkles. I won't. They're like the signature part of the disappointment. It's the reason why I would rather have, like, bad nothing donut than that. Okay. So we're back. Okay, we're back to one train car. This is important because when we have two, it lets us do things that we can't do here. So I think this means that we have to do both orange and then both green, which is going to be really hard, I think. It seems likely that we end, like, here, right? Something, get this green guy. Only saw the text, saw the Blastoise just now, and would like to believe it wasn't a Pokemon on your shirt until you ate the donut. Well, unfortunately, the VODs may never know, or something. I don't know. This seems like bad times. How? Okay, hold on. Yeah. Let's be as tight to the wall as we can. No, because no, not quite. Not quite. But that I think works. We do have to hit the green. Yes, this is right. Because we have to like exit green, enter green. Nope. Not correct. This has to... Did I have this before? Wait, is that it? That seems way easier than everything I've been doing. Pick up orange, drop off orange. Oh, but I pick up green if I do that. But I think I can work around that, right? If I'm like a little smarter. Yeah, that works, right? Pick up orange, drop off orange, ignore green, pick up orange, drop off orange. What did I do here? No, I definitely screwed something up. I had this right before, huh? So the fix for that is... This end bit is kind of annoying, but I think it's fine. I think it's like... Drop off orange... Is that right? Because you pick up orange, drop off orange, pick up orange, drop off orange, green, green. Yeah, I think that works. Give it a try. It seems like if you're doing a green, like a green only obstacle run, and you have one train car, working backwards is like probably best. But when you have two, it gets tricky in a different way, which is interesting. How does that split two ways? That's not normally how the splits work. I have to show you the heavy metal Bulbasaur shirt I got for Salem. It says Bulbasaur in a cool metal font, and his back is a jack-o'-lantern. Like a Bulbasaur-shaped jack-o'-lantern or regular jack-o'-lantern? Those both sound good. I'm just curious. Let's do number 8 next. Oh god, it splits 3 ways? That's good to know. Oh, look, a little fountain. This looks horrible. I don't like the look of this at all. Ooh. I don't feel like there's normally like stuff outside the scope of the field that I can like interact with. Was there any particular occasion you got this cool Bulbasaur shirt for Salem? Also, info. What is Salem's favorite Pokemon? Pick up green first. Drop off 1 orange. Maybe it's the other way. Maybe just pick up 1 orange. Do all the orange? I feel like it makes more sense. Piplup and Squirtle. Good choices. I've been toying with using Empoleon again in Pokemon Champions. I know no one cares about the Pokemon Champions talk, but it's important to me. I think my favorite Pokemon that's currently in Pokemon Champions is Skeledirge. Like, nobody seems to know what to do with it. Like, I kind of gave up on it because, like, I had a hard Trick Room team that, like, the meta shifted and it felt like people had more answers to it, but, like, people always seem, like, really screwed up by Skeledirge. And I just love having, like, A singing alligator boy. What a lovely little friend with a lovely little bird on his head. Also, you know I love ghost types. He's a ghost and fire type. I'm gonna do this the other way. I'm gonna pick up orange first and then get a green. And then like orange, get an orange, orange, get an orange? Because I don't think I could go back around. So this, ooh, okay, but what if I just like didn't suck? No, that's still like inherently problematic, right? No, because that would drop off, right? So this would be like, I probably do need to do this, or maybe not. Does it work though? So I have one and I drop him off here and I get one. And now, ooh. Ooh. It's possible I just, like, don't even want... That can't be right. They put the fountain there just to screw with you? The fountain wasn't there. I think this path works. It feels like they did that deliberately. Psycho says, Salem wanted me to relay that they beat every Pokemon game they've played with a Piplup. I mean, I like that. But also, I like to imagine that that also somehow suggests that, like, Salem has played every Pokemon game, even though there are, like, several that, like, don't offer a Piplup. Which, like, there are ways around that. You could, like, trade them in for a lot of those games. But, like, beating Pokemon, like, blue version with a Piplup is really an accomplishment without, like, an entire ROM hack situation. So, like, is there a benefit to getting a green guy? Like, a little green guy is a treat. I think... Ooh, that's messy. Wait, what? Yeah, what about that, though? If I did that, then I would be able to, like... Interesting. I think this works. Front card gets orange. No, front card gets green. Card 2 gets orange. Empty 2, fill 2, empty 2, fill 2, empty 2, fill 2, empty 2, empty 1, fill 1, empty 1, fill 1 and 2, empty 1 and 2. I think this works. I think this one actually has multiple solutions. Or maybe this is wrong and I'm stupid. It seems like there's at least 2 different ways to work this. So they're sort of like toying with a couple different things that seem like they have like elements that might be interchangeable, which is probably true of like a bunch of these in a way I just haven't noticed. Okay, we did it. I'm making so much more progress than I expected to. I'm very pleased. Also, I've had some donuts. I'm not gonna lie, I definitely like shaped my entire like caloric intake for the day around having like a horrifying number of donut calories at the end of today. This feels very similar to ones we've done, except I think when we did it before, we only had one car, which definitely changes it in a way I haven't wrapped my head around yet. This actually looks hard. I just want to watch them doink. Don't you just want to watch them doink sometimes? Oof. Oh, the slimes make a good one. Oof. Drop off a slime, drop off an orange. But if you do that, then you pick up the slime before you pick up the orange, and it ruins your life. Although maybe you do, maybe you purposefully have them doink. Maybe you doink and then pick up a green. And then... Because then... Do you pick up the green first if you do that? That is what I want. I don't think that works, but I don't know. Let's see if it works. Doink. Oh, right, of course, they just doink again. What a stupid... That's just ridiculous. Why would I think anything would happen other than those two would doink? Aliens of different species can doink too. Hello, aloha, Ocadius. Welcome to the stream. Okay, Zagula says, confection-related story. There's a cupcake place in DC called Georgetown Cupcake. I assume it's not located in Georgetown. One of those places that went viral at some point for being good and always has a line. Got it. A couple weeks ago, everyone at work got Georgetown cupcakes, and I was pretty excited to try one. Took a bite. Drum roll, absolute garbage. Like, for a particular reason? So bad I cannot fathom how they get a line down the block. Were they, like... Info. Were they, like, cilantro cupcakes, and you have the, like, cilantro soap gene? Oh no, Ocadius' today was one of the worst work experiences he's ever had. I mean, I'm not sure I've exactly had that experience this week, but like, I'm having a bad week, so I can relate in that regard. I got like an insanely annoying email at the end of work today, where like my boss forwarded me like an email from like some person who has like the same name as someone that I like work with at one of my stations, but like it's the wrong email address. This person is like, please stop emailing me, this is the wrong email address. And she like emails me and she's like, why does like Martin W real name like you have like Martin W real name in our contacts, and like Martin real name has contacted me. Did we mess something up? I'm like, I didn't do anything. I have the right contact in our system. Because that person, like, talked to me, like, 2 weeks ago. And they're the correct person. And I literally have no record of ever contacting Martin W. real name. Like, I don't know what you did here. But, like, I don't know why you're assuming I did something wrong. Some random person reached out to you for reasons I can't explain. And just said they're the wrong name. And they're assuming I did something wrong? When, like, you looked at the records and saw that I had the right name? What do you think happened? Why... What'd you say screw me for? Cupcakes were super dry and the icing was so cream cheese forward it tasted like taking a bite out of a block of Philadelphia. I mean, it's not necessarily a problem. I suppose cream cheese is not for everyone. I saw like a photo on like Reddit of those old like Philadelphia cream cheese bar snacks, and like when those came out, like I had never really tried like cheesecake or anything. I'm like, oh man, in hindsight, I bet I would have had like way too many of those and had a great time and like probably gotten myself sick, but they look really good. It's true. Like I have, like I just don't know how the takeaway was like. This random person contacted us with a name similar to like someone you talked to. Like, what did you do wrong? Like, I don't know, like why this was the energy this was approached with. Like, I didn't tell you to contact that person, and I didn't put their like email address in the system. So like, I hold no accountability for whatever weird thing is going on. You ask them what the problem is. I didn't do it. Like, I went and checked, like, basically everything I could think to do to be like, is there any time that I ever accidentally typoed this or something? And I cannot find anything anywhere in our system that would have me, like, on the hook for that. So the doink is a problem. The doink is a problem. Is there another way to take advantage of that, though? What I wanted was green first. Okay. Brother. There's no... That doesn't make any sense, Vasco. That doesn't make any sense, Vasco. How would you ever get to the green one in the corner? Anyway, okay, just feel free to talk about your garbage work experience if you want. But also don't feel the need to relive it if you don't want. Is there like a world? No, if you try to do both oranges first, you'd like completely block off something of importance to you. So you definitely have to either go for like... You have to incorporate both, I think. Just want to forget it happened. That's real. I respect that. Well, hey, if you have a Krispy Kreme near you, maybe you could go and get yourself some Pokemon donuts. I have no idea how long supplies last, but I got some here, and I've been enjoying them so far. I've tried two, and I really like the Squirtle one in particular. People made today bad might be back tomorrow. God, what an underrated problem. Like, that's so much worse than, like, occasionally having to deal with people. Like, almost all of my worst work experiences are, like, having to deal with the same bad people on like, a repeat basis. I don't know what to do. Yeah, I mean, if I did this, I'd, like, block off half the map. But the problem if you do this... So you definitely, no matter which direction you take, the second green fills the spot orange was in, which means that the other orange won't get in either car. There's gotta be a way to start with green. It seems like the only way to make this work. Zacula agrees. The worst is when a guest checks in and they're awful, and you look at their reservation, they're staying for like 3 weeks. Oh god, how often do people stay for that long? That sounds miserable. Just in general, I don't like the sound of that. Like, how would I do it? How would I get green first? Like a doink doink? Wait, that might be something. So, the orange doink and I don't pick one up. The green and orange doink and I don't pick one up. Then I turn and pick up green. And then I pick up orange before I drop off green, which makes sure that only the first car is gross. Then I cut across and put green in the first car, and then pick up orange, and then just drop them off. Sometimes I wonder if I have ADHD. I feel like I don't historically have a lot of the symptoms, but then, like, every time I see a meme online where people talk about, like, what having ADHD is like, They almost always seem relatable. I feel like I'm handling this entire stream in a completely ADHD fashion, where like I just stare at a thing and comprehend nothing, and then like immediately like see the code in the Matrix. Continue. What blizzard did you get? And is it the caramel apple cheesecake, which is one that I didn't know they were doing until I like went to Dairy Queen the last time, and it was just there, and I was like, say less. Those visits happen fairly often. We're near the World Bank IMF building. I mean, I don't necessarily think of that as like corresponding one-to-one with staying in a hotel for like 1,000 years, but I'll take your word on it. Peanut butter cup, classic, good choice. Okay, two cars. First word sounds like this seems like this could be easy in theory. Has a similar problem to the last one though, right? Where I think I want a green one first, because it makes it much more complicated otherwise. But the way this is laid out makes that seem super duper not possible. Should we not have to get like creative or smart? And it sounds hard. But like you could do this and then drop off both. But the problem that you then face... No, wait, is that a problem? The way this is laid out, maybe that's not even an issue. Because you pass by both of them. So like they'll both just get in when they feel like it. And then I can just like go around and then drop them off, right? Like get orange, get green, drop orange. And then because there was no cross-contamination... No, that's the whole point, right? The whole point is that green doesn't care. He's like Honey Badger. He'll get in the train when he wants to. And that's like right away because he doesn't care about the stink. I mean, we could play it out, but I'm pretty sure this is actually wrong. I think I just end up with two smelly cars and a lonely orange guy. Yeah, the problem is that we pick up green first and both the cars smell. Yeah. It's close to working, but it doesn't working. It doesn't working, you understand? You know what I mean? To clarify, International World Bank employees often have to come to DC to do stuff at a big main World Bank building. Whatever they're doing requires them to stay for like 5 days to a month. So our sales team managed to cut some kind of deal with the embassies of multiple countries. So we get people from those countries who come and stay for like 2 to 4 months. That's a lot of time. I mean, is it worth it? I mean, I assume you give them like a discount rate for that much time, but then like also think of all the robes they steal in like 4 months, you know? And all the little like soaps and stuff. So what's the trick? I wouldn't be able to... Well, I can't double back anyways. They're single file. Weird that there was like a box on the edge of one of those that made a fun bouncy noise, but like no one else does. We have a family from Kuwait in-house right now. Been here for like a month. They're very sweet. They bought the whole staff fancy donuts. Now, Zachary, were the fancy donuts better than the fancy cupcakes? And were they Pokemon theme flavored? That would be very funny. Ooh, weird thought. I don't think this will work, but let me think about this. No shot this would ever work. I was thinking like cheeky, like cut back through here to pick up orange before green, which would get me... Hello? Oh, I think the game is crashing. Is the game crashing or lagging? Lagging, okay. And then, like, wrap around here, but, like, obviously the effort to do that makes it impossible to succeed. Donuts were way better. Were they also from a local place? Were the donuts also from the cupcake place? They're just bad at cupcakes? Although, you could pass by the edge and do something with that. Maybe? I just don't see a world where you could, like, drop off an orange and then pick up... Well, picking up both green would be bad anyway. What we could do in this game with, like, an overpass piece. I mean, I wouldn't rule it out as a possibility, but I feel like if we get to the point in the game where we get an overpass piece, the puzzles are, like, insanely complicated to scale, would be my guess. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, a bunch of these have been hard. And, like, I solved this one without, like, a ton of time. I still kind of think the hardest one was, like, there was one last time where it was just, like, he was like 4 purple guys in a row and then like 4 purple houses like all in a row, and it like looked super simple, but like even though it wasn't like the most complicated thing, you had to either like trial and error it a bunch or like plot out a specific map to figure out like what just like looping back and forth between like the passengers and the stations, like what spaces it missed, so that you could like carefully calculate which points you had to like go out of your way to hit. It was a good puzzle and, like, really memorable for the effort, but, like, also just, like, I don't feel like any of the others has presented, like, that type of challenge. I can't imagine I would want, like, cross-contamination. Is there, like, a world where, like, I just... It seems awful. You would never be able to get all the passengers if you did something like that. Because at least one of the middle guys would be cut off forever. How about we just do this? I don't know, man. I like my plan. It seems to get me where I'm going. Okay. So, I mean, it seems likely the case that, like, we end with a green drop off, almost definitely. The trick seems to be simply getting a second orange guy in. You can't double out because it's single file. God, it feels like this should be simple. How would I be able... Is there like a simple way to modify this straightforward thing so that you end up with the orange guy? Oh, it sure doesn't look like it. If you could... Just like, really, I can't imagine a world where like this corner gets used at all. Is that like part of the trick somehow? Does that suggest that I need to think about a way to optimize that? I don't think so. I don't think there's any way to, like, delay picking up any of them in line in, like, a useful way. Like, there's like no way to like wrap it around. I don't think that...
Donut button, Sam and Max. Donut button.
Has it really been another hour already? I had one I was like totally convinced would work, and it's like off by like a really small amount, and I haven't been able to fix it. So you might have been looking at the same thing since you, I think you joined during this one, right, Cotillion? Might have missed like me working that out. Time has come for Bulbasaur. All right. So, assuming that the redemption is working correctly, there are no more. Just to be crystal clear on this, I'm just gonna deactivate the button for tonight. I don't want to have more than 3 donuts today. I tried really hard to like leave room for the donuts, but I just also don't want to make myself sick. Because like there's technically 6 of them total, so we can revisit that tomorrow. We got tomorrow for 3. Headphones are caught. Super good. Okay, Bulbasaur has been requested, leaving us with a really peculiar looking box. Definitely like a thumb indentation on the Bulbasaur already. That's for free. I didn't pay any extra for that. Had to see Bulbasaur to complete the starter trio. It's a good choice. I like it. So the Bulbasaur looks like this. It's got like a little bit of vine embellishment. Obviously got a Bulbasaur on there. I think this is just vanilla. I think it's just like vanilla with some like buttercream accents. I think it's like a pretty straightforward donut. I might be misunderstanding something. You enjoy how smooth it is? I do too. It's a nice, clean presentation. Okay. It's been a while since I've had just like a vanilla frosted donut from Krispy Kreme. It's stronger than I remember in a positive way. I like that. That's good. I will say I'm not typically a fan of the Krispy Kreme chocolate icing. It tastes like it has like kind of like a coffee taste to it that I don't like. Like maybe it's some other element. It definitely doesn't just taste like chocolate. It tastes like something weird. So like I tend not to like their chocolate, but the vanilla I haven't had as often, and like it's nice. And I mean the frosting is very basic, but I tend to like a little bit of frosting embellishment. If you go heavy with it, it kind of overdoes it, but like just a little bit of vine on either side of the Bulbasaur is just like, and like a little bit extra as a treat. Nico says she often skips chocolate donuts. Pink frosting is somehow best. I'm not like huge on strawberry. I would say I don't know. It depends on place. I like chocolate fine. Some places do it better than others. I think vanilla is more reliable. I also just like vanilla as a flavor a lot. Echo says she thinks donuts taste better pink and in the shape of dinosaurs. Well, we're not all so lucky as to be able to go to that place. I said pink, not strawberry. I mean, most places that I have seen pink frosting, it has also been strawberry. To mixed results. I mentioned earlier they have these like sort of like affiliate kiosks at places like grocery stores and stuff out here where like you can get sort of basic Krispy Kreme donuts on the regular. And they'll sometimes sell like a set of mini donuts. And like the pink frosting on those, which is strawberry, works better for me than in like full size. I don't know why everyone's heart is filled with hatred to be like, hey Vasco, you're You have like a face and hands full of donut. Like, why not like press buttons on your computer and like dance like a monkey? Well, you know, sure. Sorry, I'm. I said earlier in the stream, I'm mentally in like a horrific place. I don't mean to be negative. I'm like already trying to do a thing, and you're trying to do like a separate thing. Like I get it. I understand the impulse. I feel like I'm lucky if I get frosted pink donuts that have any strawberry flavor. I mean, you would feel that way if you liked the strawberry flavor for sure. I mean, the like big novelty like Simpsons Giganto donuts from like Universal theme parks, I think those are pink frosting without being strawberry. Those were like okay. They're fun if you want a giant donut. The quality of the donut is not as high as if you would just get a good donut. Hi, Demolution. I'm glad. It sounds like things are going at least relatively well with the move. No worries if you don't want to be on cellular for all that long, I understand. But you gotta keep up that stream streak, right? Always have to wash my hands before touching anything. I mean, luckily I have a second hand. It's just inconvenient. But I do, I mean, you've seen me, like, washing my hands between. Sometimes I feel like I can get away with just, like, having something to, like, wipe my hands on for these streams. But, like, I can't be bothered to have, like, an extra step in my, like, I have so many things going wrong right now. I'll say this, though. God, I'm so promiscuous for frosting. I just love like plain frosting. I'm like such a basic Andy. What was I saying? Something about something. Is that important? Oh yeah, I am like so looking forward to Pokemon VGC Worlds next weekend. Like, if any of you try to at me on Sunday, do not expect a response. Like, next Sunday, whenever that event starts, I'm turning it on and I'm tuning out the world. Like, I just need it so desperately in my life. What's the event? It's literally just like the world championships of like all competitive Pokemon things, but like my jam is the double battle video game format known as VGC. But like the physical card game has their tournament as well, as does I think like Pokemon Go and Pokemon Unite. I'm not immediately sure if there's a fifth one. But like I don't know, that it's become my sports. Like the major Pokemon events are so interesting to watch, and I their coverage staff is like pretty good, and just the production values are good, and they're just like always a treat to watch. Like I watched the like North American like international championship like pretty much start to finish one day, and I was like, man, that ruled. Oh yeah, Zach earlier said something about maple donut being best. What's funny is like I think in addition to all the Pokemon donut nonsense, I think also the seasonal donuts are like largely maple themed right now. There was also, and I was surprised to see this. Maybe I should have bought one. I shouldn't have bought. I've spent so much money on donuts. They had one that looked good. That was like I think it was like a plain sort of cinnamon coated shell that had like caramel apple pie filling or something. It looked really good, but I was already buying like a dozen donuts and some extras. So like it wasn't the time. Obviously, like I'll never see them again, but it just wasn't the time. Oh god, plumber comes in Monday using old house until then. Hold on. We have water to work in the sink, in the basement, in the house toilets. None of the hours. They're not hooked up. Wait, is this a new construction? Did I miss that? By the way, I'm washing my hands. You'll see me later, not now, in a minute. I'm sorry, I realized I forgot to turn on the music. It's fine. Probably. It's back. Not new construction, but complete demo and renovation gutting out the inside. So, like, is the demo specifically for plumbing? They, like, dug up where all the plumbing is and repiped it? Is that the idea? Oh no, made new rooms, new floors. Okay, no, that's a lot. It's not a new construction. That sounds really challenging. Okay, for a second, I almost forgot to bring back the game, but it's here. I'm not smart enough to solve this, by the way. We spent, like, almost all of our time in Green Goo Land, which I feel relatively good about. But I definitely think before we end the stream, we should, like, go into another zone and see another rule. Even though I don't... Sorry, I have stuff on my face? How dare you not tell me? That might be good enough. I don't know. 20,000 in running and expenses. That's like a really... It's a lot. It's a huge commitment. It just doesn't feel like there's a lot of flexibility here. Like, I'm just not certain. Oh, let's sit up straight, Vasco. Like, it feels like you kind of have to go down the middle, like, right away. Because I feel like I've ruled out the possibility that you can, like, pick up an edge guy and do anything meaningful with that. Because I think any attempt to do that makes it impossible to get all four the way this is lined up. I think that's true. By the way, I somehow convinced myself that this weekend was the release of, like, Acme versus Wile E. Coyote, which I'm pretty well looking forward to, and I was terribly devastated to realize it actually comes out next week, so I have to wait like a whole extra week. Tragedy. Almost breaking even with the house sale profits. I mean, with all that work committed, I sure hope that it's like everything. I sure hope that it is all of that and also a bag of chips additionally when all is said and done, Demolition. Like, that is like an incredible commitment to renovation. That should not be undertaken lightly. Cannot be overstated how traumatic that appears. There must simply be some clever way to get. But, like, pick up 2 drop-off orange. It just doesn't, like, work. I mean, it seems like something like this seems likely. Green and orange and green and orange. Yeah, I mean, like, you can't, like, drop off an orange and get the other. There's just, like, no space for it. I don't know. This isn't, like, obscenely difficult. I'm not seeing the line. I might revisit this. What was it? 10? Let's look at 11. 3 colors, 2 green, 1 train car, 1 cup. Posture's still terrible. God, cannot. Sure feels like I'm touching this last. So one car is tough. It means you can't pick up any green until everything else is done. No dessert until you've cleaned your plate. That kind of suggests that you just go around the outside in the end, which seems really deceptively easy. Then you just need a trick to... Is this like the easiest thing in the world? You just like wrap this around to get purple like third to last and then just like... Like, am I insane? Is that not like incredibly easy? Orange... Purple. Drop off purple. Oh, of course it doesn't work because I only have one car. No, that's not easy at all. Good work, Vasco. Excellent. Just... Bravo. Fantastic. But close, kind of. Kind of close. Much harder than that, though. Probably something along these lines. I mean, maybe you do purple first. Under the circumstances. So we still have purple, so we could do that. But no, you would still end up with the same issue here. You kind of have to cross the map twice in order to realistically be able to drop off both greens. That doesn't work either. In order to cross back and forth, obviously not that. That doesn't seem very useful. I mean, it sure does seem as though... Is that like the... That is the least invasive way to pick up purple? And then, like, drop off purple. Like, pick up orange. You would never get across. You would never get across. Okay, hold on. Leaning into the ADHD mindset. Let's take a look. I guess it's not pink. I guess it's, what is this, lavender? I think I've looked at all of these and didn't solve any of them last week. Kind of similar to what I'm doing now. As we're approaching the end, I kind of just want to, like, find something interesting to deal with. So here we have 2 train car. I don't know if I did look at this. This doesn't look extremely familiar. And it doesn't have, like, tracks in progress. So I have 2 train cars. I got 3 dudes of 2 different colors to drop off in really awkward configuration, obviously. I ain't gonna do it. So I pick up 2 and drop off 1 so I can pick up the last one. And by the point I've reached here, all the purple guys are dropped off, right? Then we do, like, pick up an orange. I guess that gives me 2 orange, so I pick up the 3rd and, like, pass by here? Let's see what thing I didn't account for. This feels like it's not that difficult, but I just did the same thing on another one and completely whiffed it. Like, I think I pick up 2, and then drop off 1, and then pick up the last guy before passing the last 2. It looks good. Okay, not as hard as it initially looked, maybe. So that opens... Oh, that's... Okay, for some reason I was expecting that to continue Ursa Minor. Okay. How about stamp collect? Look at 6. This is 2 cards. I'm not entirely sure I was... No, is this the one that gave me 2 cards? Is Ursa Minor? I feel like I've spent most of the last stream, like, not thinking in a 2-card mindset. Maybe that's why I got hung up at the end of the stream. I don't know. So we pick up an orange and a purple. And then we, like, drop off 1 orange. And then we pick up the other orange. And then we drop off 1 purple. And then we drop off an orange and a purple. And then we run it and see what I didn't factor. But, I mean, it's looking good. It's looking good. We've found the zone of the map that my brain is able to comprehend right now. I kind of like that this is an option available to me, even though this isn't normally how I would like to play a game like this. It's sure working for me right now. Gotta rewatch the VOD for the donut goodness. I mean, we've done half of them, and we got half of them for tomorrow. And you may be pleased to learn that we haven't done Pikachu yet, which I expect to be somewhat polarizing. Much like Charmander. Oh, I didn't give a grade to the Bulbasaur. I mean, like, Bulbasaur is generic but solid. I don't know. I think that's, like, also... I think it's like a A. It's a very different kind of A than the Charmander. I mean, on a personal level, I think I prefer the Bulbasaur to the Charmander, which is, like, disappointing. But, like, I think it depends on what you want out of Charmander, and I can see that going either way. Okay, I have 2 cars, both alike indignant. This one I definitely tried to do. This one has 2 exits, right? And I, like, absolutely not. So, here's the thing I don't think it occurred to me. What if I, like, angle this way and get, like, a purple and an orange? But how would I then... Get 2 purple... and then drop off both purple, and then get both orange. I think I tried this and it doesn't work because there's not enough space for the second car to drop off this guy before I hit the wall. I don't think there's like a way around that. I think you just have to get good and do something else. But I don't think this works. I think I actually did this exact, more or less this exact thing. Yeah, it's a weird specific problem that they clearly engineered on purpose, much like that fountain in that other one I pointed out. Does somehow, just like leaving that space open, somehow do something for somebody? Ooh, here's a weird thought. No, because then you can't exit. Other than the fact that this doesn't work at all, this totally solves it. Because you just, like... pick up the purples, drop one off, then you carry an orange so you can drop it off ahead of time so you don't end up with that same problem. You, of course, have the distinct problem of you can no longer reach the exit, but, like, who's counting, you know? I do feel like this is something. This could be a solution to one of these. Well, thanks for stopping by, Demolition. I know that internet is a precious resource right now. Best of luck with all of the chaos that you've described in detail with the house. I don't even think I could process that while also trying to solve tiny trains, but it's a lot, and just wanted to say we're all counting on you. Okay. So I got me a purple and an orange. So I drop off a purple, and I get an orange. It feels like it's close to something, but I'm pretty sure it's nothing. Like, I could attempt a world in which... I mean, if I go up here, I have the same problem, right? Placement of these little planters is also pretty sinister. Man, so far I've still only noticed, like, one boingy edge thing. Technical term, of course. So, like, I could try to pick up both purples, and that feels like that boxes me in. I could try to take a purple and an orange. That also seems like a problem. If I, like... take orange and a purple. Drop off the orange in a way that picks up the purple. Then drop off the purple, pick up the... Oh, hey, wait. Does that work? I'm not going to walk through it. It's perfectly executable. But I think this might work. By picking up the orange early in a way I don't think I've tried. I think it makes space for me to get the other purple. And then I can just... if I take the long way around, I get the orange... He's in the front car. Alright, so that's one down. And that gives me... oh, that's another exit to Cassiopeia. Dang, there's a lot going on here, huh? What a neat game. I do like this game. So if you... I don't think I've actually exited to take a look at this. If you complete... no, I have. I just haven't looked at it. If you complete one out of two possible exits, then it just... it gives you a, like, white star instead of a gold star. It's a very intriguing one. This gives me two purples right away. I don't think I want that, though. Can I? No, that definitely picks up a purple. There's no way around that. Other than something that's much, much worse. So if I wanted to pick up... drop off the purple I have. Now I have two orange. That's like completely unusable. That cannot be correct. Here's a weird thought, though. If I pick those guys up in that way... I don't think that's workable at all. Like, just by trying to drop them off, I, like, block these guys from ever being accessible again. Yeah, it feels like that should do something interesting, but it really doesn't. That's peculiar. If I cut through here, I don't pick up a purple guy until I make this turn. Which, like, almost sounds useful. But then to, like, drop off an orange guy, I'd block off the other box forever. So that can't be the solution. Could I maybe do the opposite, though? So this lets me pick up one orange guy first. And then drop him off here in such a way that I pick up both of the purples. But then if I try to drop those off, I can't exit. That's close, but it's obviously nothing. It is not a solution, it turns out. Okay, I'm gonna think about this some more, but I'm gonna give you all a second to think. Before we end the stream, I think I'd like to poke into, like, another system we haven't started. Like, I want to try and finish Ursa Minor and then do, like, a little bit of one of the others. We got Vela, Taurus, Ursa Major, Perseus, Cassiopeia. I think that's all the TV there is. So if one of those names sounds interesting, I guess I could give you the color coordination. Vela's like orange. Taurus is like teal. Ursa Major is like, I don't know, lilac? There's a lot of purple going on. Perseus is like another, like, light, like a pinkish one? I wonder if, like, having a similar color scheme suggests anything about the type of puzzles you're dealing with. And then Cassiopeia is like a... almost like a cyan or a mint or a seafoam or something? I don't know. I'm catching up on, like, a podcast like I started listening to like 1,000 years ago. And there's like a whole horde of complicated reasons why, like, I didn't keep up with it. But one of the ones I was listening to today had a really funny question in its opening sequence. Which was like... it was like completely facetious, but it was like, hey guys, have you ever seen a woman who was so attractive that out loud you said, hubba hubba? Which I think is an interesting thought experiment for anyone who grew up with, like, the same, like, cartoon syndication that one such as I did. Just really can't, like, crisscross anything. So the egg that I need is the right one. Which seems like that should be useful information. It seems very difficult. The placement of the orange exits in particular is, like, really tricky in this one. The purple feels like it's got a little more leeway, both in pickup and drop off. Wait, is this something? So I pick up both purples, and then I drop off both purples before running by both oranges, which passes by both orange. This is like a really easy looking solution. How have I not tried this? Am I missing something? So pass by these guys. Drop, drop, orange, 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 orange. There we go. And that's done. So Ursa Minor complete. That's pretty cool. Didn't see any requests. What do we unlock first? Taurus before Cassiopeia? No, technically Cassiopeia unlocks first. Oop, I clicked out. And then, like, moved something on my desktop. Don't worry about it. I think technically... Well, I mean, technically, in terms of difficulty, we unlocked Vela first. So I guess we'll try that. So that's interesting. I don't, like, immediately notice, like, a rule change here. But this is technically the first, like, orange color. So that I wonder about that. Is the idea that this is supposed to be the introduction of obstacles, perhaps? And I've just, like, played some, like, harder difficulty things? Cassiopeia. On the Cassiopeia. It's got a doink box. Whoa, wait, what? Wait, why does clicking this box make exactly 2 guys react? That's so weird. I don't know what that means. Okay. 1 car, multiple obstacles. Pick up a guy, drop off a guy, pick up a guy, drop off a guy. Yeah, that's kind of the problem. Pick up a guy, drop off a guy, pick up a guy, drop off a guy, pick up a guy. Pick up, drop off, pick up, drop off, pick up, drop off. Ting ting! I do like this color. My inclination was to try to pick a color that was, like, most dissimilar to something we'd seen before, expecting that to be, like, a new rule. Kind of a small-looking sector. And so far, the only thing this really seems to be offering is, like, also obstacles, which, like, we've definitely seen in other places. Even if we consider Vela to be, like, the origin of random obstacles. So... This is 2 cars, which is relevant. Pick up these guys. Drop them off and pick up both purples. Maybe? I don't know. I didn't put a lot of thought into that. That sounds plausible. It could work. We definitely pick up both purples. I don't know if that, like, wonky angle up here is necessary. I feel like that might make it possible for the drop-off. No. Okay. It has a similar problem to... one of those ones we were just looking at. Like, if you go for either of these, you kind of just end up... I think you're forced to pick up both of one color, because even if you, like, went out of your way to, like, avoid one, then you're, like, you'll never get back. So I do think you kind of have to, like, this... And then this. Although maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah, no, this changes nothing. No, right, it goes up here to drop off orange, because if you don't do that, it doesn't matter if you have space to, like, mess around and, like, force the drop-offs to happen in a more desirable fashion. It seems as though... Well, hang on. I drop off one orange, and that would be the first orange. So I pick up purple. And then... Pick these guys up. No, there's not a way around that, right? Is there? Let's say I just, like, Whoop. So then I pick up this guy. No, but because of the obstacles, I can't, like, double back. This place is the color of the mint part of an Andes chocolate. Yeah, it's, like, super appealing to look at, right? I'm so mad. I think I missed... Arby's will, like, sometimes, but not always, for, like, St. Patrick's Day, do, like, an Andes mint shake that's, like, really nice. And, like... Last year I was like waiting for it and it didn't show up, and then this year I think they did it, and like I was just like busy in March and I just missed it. This accomplishes nothing, I think. Like, I don't think saving the space in the corner does anything. The trick is that you want the last purple to be dropped off, to be in your first spot. It's not immediately obvious how to do that. I don't think I've eaten at Arby's since Bush was in office. I mean, I feel like you're missing out, but also I'm not sure that's a popular opinion. Not that like a lot of my opinions are necessarily popular. That's why I don't get invited to parties, you know? I mean, this is like the worst thing you could do. I mean, like I said before, I think if you like touch either one, you are like committed to their color completely first. It's really hard to imagine a world where you don't at least have to pick up both of the same color before doing anything else. You don't necessarily have to drop them both off, but I feel like you gotta pick them both up. A lot of people do seem to hate Arby's. That is true, Zachary, but you know what else? Like, a whole bunch of people, like, vote bad. And that doesn't make them right, either. Also, a lot of people tell me that the show Andor is good. The television show Andor in the Star Wars universe, Andor. And just a shocking number of those people are just wrong. They're just not correct. It's weird. There must be a trick. There must simply be a trick to it. I mean, there's always a trick. It's a puzzle game. Let me look at 3. Similar arrangement to the other one. Probably a little... No, it's pretty similar in that I think you got to pick up both of the same color. Oh... Is this easier? I think it pretends to be easier, but I don't think it's easier. Because the problem is, at the end of the day, you have the same issue. Where because this is blocked off on either side, you have to do something creative to get the purples to drop off. Or one of them just gets, like, stuck, like, 10 feet away from his platform. Like it says, I haven't watched Andor, but everyone seems to love it. Yeah, and you know, large quantities of people can be wrong. Arby's does currently have a good... I checked earlier in the week and they still had the cheesesteak. I don't know if they still... They've had it for a while. I kind of figure they're due to discontinue it, but I've been enjoying the cheesesteak from Arby's. Also, their mozzarella sticks are to murder for. They're worth doing crimes. Don't be bad. Why would you do that? There's not enough space to, like, double back and do anything meaningful? This could work. This could work. It would require me to find a way to, like... That's not possible. How would I ever... I'd have to, like, get back to this guy and drop him off over here. And then loop back around to here with the runway necessary to, like, drop off the extra guy. It seems like the most efficient path towards something like that, and it clearly doesn't work. There's too many plants. Because my stomach does not feel good after all the donuts I've eaten. Neko, how many donuts have you eaten today? I worked so hard to, like, leave room for the donut. I'm, like, not even drinking apple juice because I somehow think, like, that's the sugar straw that'll break the camel's pixie stick or something. Ugh. It's interesting how similar these are, and how similarly I have no idea what to do with either of them. This one feels easier, and it's the first one. So if I was going to work on one, this probably is the one to start with. It's just interesting how this sector feels like it offers so little in the way of taking advantage of... Oh, that's interesting. No, but that blocks off the exit, doesn't it? That, like, otherwise kind of works. You just kind of, like, double back, and yeah, you're just stuck is the problem. It would be nice if maybe at some point there's, like, a... Maybe not, like, an overpass piece for us, but, like, a type of station that works that way, maybe? I've eaten 2 Jigglypuff donuts, a Pikachu, a Charmander, and a raspberry jam. Is that just today? I mean, that sounds like a great day, but I do understand how you've, you know, found yourself in that position. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that there are consequences. Buddy's begging for a nutrient. Hey, that sounds like me from age, I don't know, like 12 or so. No, I don't know. Basically until now. I've tried so much to improve, and yet not really any progress. Like it says, I ate 2 bags of gummy Jolly Ranchers today, and I also feel bad. I mean, I guess I'm glad we can commiserate on this. I definitely thought I'd be making the worst dietary decisions of the community today. Had a stressful week, so I've gone all out stress eating donuts. I mean, that's also kind of how I found myself so firmly committed to driving 60 miles to eat, like, God knows, like 900 calories of donuts altogether or something like that. Ate, like, no lunch and a light dinner, and I just, like, ugh, not great. Definitely still feel more mentally unwell than physically unwell. But, you know, probably a good idea to just risk it on both counts, I would say. So that drops me... Same problem though, right? Like if I do that, I just can't get to the exit. So, I think, what if we work backwards on this one? It seems like in some capacity, I have to end here? Unless I can think of a way... No, this would never make any sense. Because, like, what path would I use to connect? Yeah, okay. So, like... That's probably no. That's complete. That's like the. It's completely unusable. I'm like, all you gotta do is wrap the track around so that the second purple guy has like extra clearance time to get in whatever station he gets dropped off at. Which of course makes it completely impossible to access either of the orange ones. Unless... No, there's like literally no... Like I would need to be able to like loop this like through the planter. It seems like the theme of like the mint zone is just like we put a plant where you want to put the track. Get wrecked, idiot. You say 60 miles. Yeah, 30 miles each way. 60 miles round trip just to spend like $20 on these donuts. And then, as I mentioned earlier, I definitely bought some extra because I felt like it seems stupid that the dozen only comes with one of each. So if I came all this way, I might as well get some others for fun. To be fair, 60 miles round trip is light work in a lot of places in the US. Oh yeah, but like my normal commute is 0. And like in an average week, I drive like on an errands heavy week, I'll probably drive something like 20 miles total in a week. Drove like 3 times that today. I feel like both oranges followed by both purples. I mean, yeah. Like I think we can agree on that. That's probably how it works. It's just the logistics of making that work. Because like I found early on a track that like has me take the oranges like through here and then pick up the purples and go to here. And the problem is that like without some measure of chicanery, we've seen this happen, but it's like there's not enough like runway to the end of here where like you drop off one purple and then the other purple gets like stuck like back here and like doesn't get dropped off or whatever. Like that's what we're working around mainly. So we have to like find a way. So like this would solve it in theory, and then like if I can I do that? No, I tried this a moment ago and this doesn't work, right? It's like close, but it doesn't work. We would like have to go through there. Better Call Saul reference. I mean, like arguably, certainly like probably the single most recognized use of chicanery in language is the title of like the best Better Call Saul episode. But also it is like an English word from the language we communally use here in chat and also this stupid country. 60 miles round trip is not for me though, because driving a car is awful and I hate it. Well, you get the benefits of scooter time and then the drawbacks of, you know, the stinky slime car on public transport, as mentioned earlier. This feels close, but regrettably is nothing. There simply isn't enough space to hit up the second orange. There's not enough to like wrap around and like drop off one and then get the other purple or something like that. I think it has to be on this side because like the purple, like because of the proximity of like the purples to like these and the exit, like I don't think there's a way to like pass by and then come back around. Like there's no way. Like in order to like drop them off to like avoid the, I don't know, there's probably a clever name for like getting stuck waiting outside the station or something. But like it seems like something you want to do, but if you like cross all the way there, then you can't exit. So you kind of have to do it last. But yeah, like if you tried to do it from this side, like how would you reach the purples like after having like dropped these guys off? So it seems as though it simply must end here. But that's the track that doesn't work. And this is the thing I can't make work. So I need some middle ground. Is there a world where you somehow alternate? It seems impossible. Like, pick them up, drop off an orange. No, I mean, if you pass by either of the purples, you basically just, like, block off the exit. Fairly large level here. Did some rough math the other day. It cost me $5 round trip on the metro to get to and from work. So I can take the train to and from work about 28 years for the price of a $30,000 car. That's without factoring gas, maintenance, and insurance. I mean, probably a good type of math to do. And, like, when you live in, like, an urban environment and you have access to public transportation, that type of solution makes a lot more sense. I lived in, you know, North Hollywood / Los Angeles for over a decade. And let me tell you how much you don't want to try and rely on public transport there. And then also, things are just spaced out so far here that you have, like, a similar situation. That's my argument for more robust public transport in the U.S. Okay, I mean, okay. I feel like there's, like, a false... I feel like there's some, like, bizarre straw man argument happening here, as though, like, me driving a car somehow suggests that I don't want infrastructure. Like, the people who don't like infrastructure are the politicians who get paid, like, big money from auto manufacturers who've been, like, a staple of U.S. industry since there was U.S. industry. I think most people understand that infrastructure is good, but, like, U.S. politicians really like money, it turns out. And so we don't get any infrastructure. Is this somehow something? Pick up orange, drop off orange. No, because I can't pick up both of them if I do this. It's close. The problem is that, like, in order to, like, get up here, I cut off this corner. So many of these are close, and none of these are solutions. Just do it to make the train go. It's not gonna work, but just do it. The problem is we just leave a purple guy in the corner. Other than that, I think this is completely good. Obviously a bit of a problem, though, yeah? In fact, that's genuinely fun. LA is actually putting a lot of work into expanding their rail network. Yeah, my dad was working on that project. And I don't know all the details, but less fun fact, that was for the Olympics, and they missed the mark on that. And I'm not entirely sure what the status of that project is anymore, since the Olympics in LA kind of happened. Now, obviously, that wasn't the only deciding factor in that project, but, like, I think the potential, you know, benefits of, like, all the travelers and whatnot for that event was a big push to, like, actually make progress on it. It's just mean of the, like, does the game not understand that I'm, like, trying to get to the box, and that to block off the box on two sides makes it harder for me to touch the box? Does the game not get that? I don't understand. Like if these guys were like over here, I could do the thing. Blech. What, 14 a.m. Brother. Okay, hold on. Leaving this zone. Take a look at I don't want to go back to 10. I don't remember what 10 is, but I couldn't do it. Let's look at 11. Sorry, what is this? Delphinus? I think I looked at this, or maybe 10 is really similar to this. No, I definitely looked at this. This is the one that was tricky for the reason that you had to get 2 green guys to the end in a difficult path with only 1 car. So like everything you do, you have to kind of avoid this corner until late. That looks bad. You know what? Sometimes it's fun to just make the train go. Yeah, I hear you, buddy. Relatable. This is the same experience you have with Baba as you. It's the same experience I have with Baba as you. It's much worse than with this game. I mean, if I was willing to just, like, jump around to, like, the low difficulties on everything, then it'd be less of a problem up until the point that everything was blocked off. It's probably just the case that it's, like, late enough in the day at the end of, like, a miserable week and, like, a really stressful, busy day that, like, my brain's probably just not working. But, like, at a really good stretch there in the middle, I'm happy with. I just kind of want to make a little more progress. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm going to spend a little more time on it, see if I can click a level somewhere. So working backwards. Like, how do I ever get, like, a green guy to here? That seems insane. Like, this one seems no probalo. Like, a straight line across there, no sweat. But, like, how do you, without multiple train cars, how do you do this, dude? Work week starts tomorrow, and I'm desperately hoping most or all of our GWU parents have gone home. Yeah, I hope that for you as well, Zacula. So wait, does that mean that, I mean, do you have an offset weekend where I know you're off Fridays now. Are you off, like, Thursday, Friday, so your work week is Saturday through Wednesday? How would you do this? This looks nonsensical. I think you have to do purple first, and then orange, and then both greens. Which, like, sounds simple. Even this seems like kind of a huge problem. There's somehow benefit to orange first? It doesn't seem like it. Because you waste so much. By going straight for orange, you just waste so much space. Anyone ever consider telling the train to just start from the end and go back to the beginning? Only work 4 days a week, so your work week is Saturday through Tuesday? That's nice. I'd like to hear that. This seems unsolvable. There's some puzzles where I'm like, I don't get it. And then there's some puzzles where I look at it, I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't know how you would accomplish this feat. Like, obviously I can't do this. But then, like... there's like a problem here. The purple is too wide and the orange is too deep into the map to like not cause overlap with like at least one pair of green guy and green destination. Oh, this obviously sucks. It's just about really precise track usage. I feel like I'm seeing like little optimizations that make things like marginally more connected. Seems possible. Because like there's just... Does that do it? No, I don't think it does. I don't think that does enough. Like cut this track in deeper or move this out, but that doesn't seem like it does anything. The problem is that like if I ever get purple to his destination, there's no track for like a second green guy to like exit. Like, it's super easy to do one green guy. Both these seems impossible. I'm too stupid. I can't. We're not doing this. That one's not happening. How about 12? This seems like a variation on one that I already struggled with before. I don't immediately remember how I got there. So you can... could try to do all 4 oranges first. That sounds ridiculous. I think it would be more like get a green first. Drop off green and an orange. Pick up orange. Oh, that's clearly not it. Then if you ever tried to drop off the other oranges, you'd be locked out forever. Boy, that's like almost something, huh? So let's say we get green and an orange to begin with, and drop them off. You try to just like drop off one orange at the end of the corridor. It's the same investment of space as running through the whole corridor, which could potentially drop off many things. If you did this, you wouldn't be like, you have to drop. I think if you were taking this path, you'd have to drop off a green early. Hang on, so pick up green, pick up orange, drop off, drop off. Then I pick up an orange and drop him off in the back, and then pick up this guy and drop him off in the front. I'm like weirdly close to this like being something. But how would I get back around? Like the guys I need to drop off are so close to the exit. That doesn't seem useful. This seems unuseful. But it's weirdly close considering, you understand? Like, it makes an interesting use of the available space. Yeah, the problem is like this, though. There's like no way through if I try to pick up the guy. I mean, like, at this point they're all dropped off, but obviously I'm doomed. Doomed. So I can't make use of Doink here. Like, if I pass by this first green guy in any capacity, then I definitely pick him up. It seems really, really difficult. I mean, maybe I drop them off in the back row. Then I commit to getting a green and an orange to drop off those. And then... Hold on. Drop off the orange in the back, then get another orange. Drop him off and him off. There's some trick here. Can I God, I want to be able to like... No, it sucks. If I went to like pick up far orange, then like there's no escape. Like it sets it up so that I could like feasibly like drop this guy off, but then I can't go anywhere. Like literally can't go this way because then the level is unwinnable. So I guess that helps. I gotta stay in my corner. I can touch one green or no green. So pick them up. Drop them off. Get an orange. Doesn't help either. I try to do all this nonsense, I'll just get boxed in. It does feel like I'm supposed to take a green here. Pick up green first. Maybe I'm onto something. Pick up green, pick up orange. Drop off green and orange. Then, like, pick up green in first spot again. Then get, like, a new orange and drop him off. Get other orange. Drop him off, like, in the back. Drop off green. My brain's barely working. I feel like this makes sense. Let's see what the game says when I tell it to go. Get a green, get an orange. Drop them off. Get the green, do orange, drop off orange, fill the orange spot. Clear both of those. Touch the last guy. Bring him in. Exit. Somehow we got there. I don't think I comprehend what I just did. I just waggled the tracks around for a little while. No, that's 12. I'll look at 14. I'm not committing to doing 14. A lot of green. Got a lot of green right now. I think this is set up so you can't get a green first, which is like an interesting quirk. Makes it harder to prevent other greens from like contaminating both of your available cards. This is 2 cards. It's like I could do this very simply, but then you find yourself in a bit of a spot of bother. Orange, drop off orange, get orange. Drop off green and orange. Doesn't look back around. I think that's close though. Like, get orange, drop off orange. Get. Because we haven't dropped off green, we ignore him. We get the other orange. We've solved 2 oranges. And then, like, we pick up the last orange without causing a problem. And then we, like, pick up second green. Like a little more space, this makes sense. Is this something? Drop off an orange so that you can like pick up orange in the same spot without corruption. Then we like drop off a green. I think that contaminates both spots though. Second space second space contaminated. Both cleared. First space contaminated. Yeah, that's a problem. There's what you call an issue. I mean, you could, like, not drop off the green there. Drop him off here. And then, I think that works. Get orange, drop him off. Fill the first space, fill the second space, empty the first space. Second space, No, that's still contaminated, isn't it? I feel like I solved this. Empty orange. We filled that. The second space is green. We emptied this, which means that the first... Yeah, that doesn't work, right? For some reason I was convinced this worked, but it doesn't. What are they doing? I don't think that changes anything. Yeah, no, that ruins both spaces. Yeah. Contaminated. Stinky. Stinky! Doing the first 4, you could come down to the pad closest to the bottom, pick up the last 2, and drop them off on the way back to the exit. After doing the first 4... Well, it's a matter of the minutia. With levels like this, with these slime guys, you just gotta be careful about, like, if you get both your seats stinky, it doesn't matter how straightforward the rest of the path is. This is close, but it's obviously wrong. Pick up an orange and a green. Drop off the orange and the green. Pick up neither orange nor green. Yeah, that's like a bit of a problem. We can't pick up both orange, though. This path does not work. You'd never be able to loop around. Attempt to help, but I've been staring at a little plastic spaceman and not the screen. I mean, I think we've all been there. All of us. Boy, this sure felt close, though. So if we do it like this, second space contaminated, drop off orange, get the other orange and drop him off. So only the second space is contaminated. Then we drop off the second one. And before we get to the last green guy, we have this. So drop him off, and then we touch the other green guy. This feels very similar to something I've done. Have I done this? Drop off the orange. Nope, that's the problem. I definitely did do this, and it definitely is a problem. Okay, space is the shortcut there. So that was why I tried, like, not dropping him off. But that doesn't work either. Very close to ending the stream, I think. Not quite there, but quite close, in fact. Like this is, I actually think with a little work I could get Cotillion into it. Just gotta convince him to get some Necrons. You might be able to pull it off. Cotillion is interested in a great many things. The struggle, like for many individuals in our circle of interests, is like having other people that like want to do the same thing. Like these like multiplayer, these tabletop games, they kind of require multiple people. I recently became aware of like a new Star Trek tabletop game that like looks pretty cool. It is like by the same parent company that did the tabletop pirates game that I like, and it like has some of its DNA in it in a way that I think is really cool and interesting, but like it's expensive as heck and the economy sucks, and like who's playing that, you know? Both oranges at the start. I tried some version of that. Orange, orange. And the problem is like going straight for the oranges like really limits your options, right? Like, do you see like a clear way to do that that doesn't just like burn a bunch of my avenues back and forth? I haven't noticed such a thing. Cause like then I can't, like if I, yeah, it just takes up so much like space. Okay, pick up the first two and drop them off in the corner. Loop down and pick up the next two and drop those off in the spaces on the left. But see, okay. I mean, I like where your head's at, but like, this map is constructed in a very tricky and particular way, where like it super duper looks like you could just like zigzag back and forth through these little avenues. You got the two cars and everything, but the trick is that you'll stink up both of your cars. So like pick up orange first, right? But then like when you drop both of them off, then when you come back, the first guy you pick up is green and he stinks up the car and you can never pick up an orange again in either car. And like once you do that, you're like toast. You can't get there because the oranges will just never ride your train. So you have to plan some kind of track that works around this. Get orange and drop him off, and then fill the first spot with orange. Then I got... Yeah, I can't do that. It'd be nice to just drop off like one green. That feels like that might do something. One of the positives about a hobby you can just... is that you can just get into part of it. Like you want to just get into painting and never play a game. I mean, that's true, but not every hobby has like layers like that. Yeah, no, this is a tricky one. Like it looks like super straightforward, but like this is really well designed in that like it looks super straightforward. Maybe orange, orange, go above to the top right orange house. So okay, hold on. I think so like this. Orange, orange. And then like that to get a slime guy and then drop him off? Yeah, maybe this works, Neko. Let's calculate this real quick. We can run it, but I want to see. So we pick up both orange by doing this little dangle number, and then we drop off one, which lets us fill first car with green, and then we clear it right away, so that we have a chance to pick up green in first car. And then we drop off orange from second car. And then we don't contaminate the other car until the end. I think that works. We tried using the knife on the Eagles. It should always be the first resort. Yeah, this looks good. Yeah. And then they get in at the same time. Yeah. Well, that's definitely the end of the stream, I'll tell you what. I mean, I do feel like there was some collaboration on that, but I feel like when we reach a point where, like, I can't do it and Neko just tells me what it is, I should probably stop playing the video game. We checked with Apollo. How about you check with Apollo and get back to me, Zacula? He seems annoyed that I keep coming back to him for some reason. enjoying this game. I think we'll probably do more tomorrow. I think people are liking it. Saturdays I'm usually in a better headspace because I haven't like just come off of like the nightmare factory that is like the week. Luckily we have like a lot more sugar to deal with. We've got Jigglypuff, Pikachu, and I guess presumably Pokeball. I do have a couple spare duplicates that I got, but I don't know. I'll consider how to weigh those options. I don't know what to do with these stupid glazed ring donuts that are just like empty calories I'm not excited about, but I also don't want to throw them out, so we'll have to figure that out. Yeah, I suppose it's no longer train time, huh? We have to like show off how terrible my head looks and then put on a hat. A more different hat. Also definitely gotta get myself like a Halloween costume. And oh my god, Hayden Panettiere passed this week. What a disaster. Rest in peace, man. Part of me almost wants to like do another Until Dawn run as part of like Halloween this year. Just cause like that sucks, man. What a fantastic like seminal like storytelling video game. What a tragic loss in all kinds of ways. Love the memes that are like, I hope there's no garbage today. I say clocking in for my shift at the garbage factory. Yeah. I say treat yourself. There are no empty calories if it fills your heart with joy. But that's exactly why the glazed ring donut is empty calories, because it doesn't fill my heart with joy. It's a super generic donut that's like not very good. Disappointed the Krispy Kreme box doesn't have a fancy cover. I'm fairly certain they ran out of them. I know that there's like two versions of it. There's like a regular one with Pokemon on the front, and then there's like a gold one with Pokemon on the front. Or at least I've seen a photo of the gold one. I guess I technically haven't seen a photo of the other one, but I'm pretty sure that exists. The gold one is for like it's for some like ludicrously small number of people. I don't know if it's like per day, but it's like the first like 5 people who buy Pokemon donuts. So like the rest are just regular boxes. I don't know if that's different in the UK. That's my current understanding of things. Didn't get to see the gold ones. Apparently the first 3 pieces. Is it 3? I thought I saw the number 4, and I'm like, 4 is a stupid number. That can't be right. So I just rounded it up to 5 because 4 would be stupid. 3 also seems silly, but you know, whatever. That's fine. I think there's also like Pokemon coffee cups, and I'm kind of glad I'm not a coffee drinker, because like I think those are kind of a pain in the neck to get, and I don't want to deal with that, to be honest. I said it was collectible, so it better not be cardboard. Yeah, like that I wasn't clear of on the photo I saw. Like I did not get the impression it was a nicer material. It kind of seemed like it would also kind of just get affected by it being full of donuts, and it's like, I don't think that's worth the effort necessarily. All right, I already see some guesses. At the end of the stream, of course, we must play a game of Secret Squirtle. Now, the Squirtles in this room aren't flavored like cotton candy or some nebulous quantity of vanilla, but instead they are hidden amongst the plush friends who are on display, and they are known to be an omen of good luck for those able to find them when they play a game of hide and seek. So I encourage you to look around, and I am going to give you just one hint, and it's this isn't a trick. If you think you've outsmarted the theme, sort of salient to everything going on, you probably have not. So, you know, do with that information what you will. It's not meant to be a trick. Okay? I don't have something for this. The thing left of the trade. Hang on. Why is this hard for me? Left of the, okay. I missed what the trick isn't. There's no trick. The theme is as not tricky as I can intimate to you without telling you what it is. Every now and then I consider like what the difficulty rating of the challenge is. This is like a 2 out of 10. It's not free, but it's not free. Gonna guess the theme is not trains. That's an interesting theory, Zacula. Okay, so what do we got here? We're behind Pikachu. Jigglypuff or Clefairy, Sandshrew, and Train. Okay. I will entertain any last second guesses as well. So let's round them up. Wow. Pikachu was the first one I saw. And Squirtle there. And then I think Clefairy. Clefairy was next. Also Squirtle. Jigglypuff. Also Squirtle. Sandshrew. Also Squirtle. And then unfortunately, behind the train is not so much a Squirtle. Is Tyranitar. He looks like this. His expression is my expression. He's having the same week I'm having, I think. Guess for the theme is round and donut shaped. No, Zacula got it. It's well, I mean, strictly speaking, the theme is Pokemon. It's Pokemon donuts. There's almost everything is on display as Pokemon. Did not mean for that to be a trick. Is the thing. I just felt like I should put out the train because we're playing the train game, and you know. I had the consider. I feel like we had some level of discussion about this like last week, where like. I think Zacula at one point said like if there's not a Squirtle behind the train, we riot. But it's like even if we put out the train, as long as we're playing train games, if there's always a Squirtle behind the train because we're playing train games, then it ceases to be like a hide or a guess or anything. Technically correct. You are certainly technically correct. But yes, I also love this Tyranitar. I'm kind of sad that I haven't been able to like get Mega Tyranitar to work super good in Pokemon Champions. I feel like you just have to be smarter than I am at the game to like make him work. Or like do the super front door strategy I'm not super excited about. Well, I gotta tell you, I've been really enjoying my stupid Gale Wings Talonflame. It has sniped 2 Whimsicots this week. Whimsicot's like the fastest thing on the face of the earth. But like through a quirk of what Talonflame can do, as long as you like don't miss, he just like knocks them just right onto the earth face first before anyone else can do anything. It's very funny. Nobody ever remembers the extremely specific series of things that causes that to be possible. And yeah, it really ruins everyone's day, and I'm enjoying that. Not because I want them to suffer, but because it means that the thing I'm doing is cool. So often we'll be playing some kind of RPG. I think exactly like that. I'm certain someone who's smarter than me could make this work. I mean, like, on a large enough scale, like the Earth, that's going to be true a lot of the time. That doesn't necessarily say anything bad about you. It just means that I can't make as good a use of my lovely little Tyranitar as I would like. He just kind of like threatens all his friends. It's very silly. Anyway, I do hope that you've enjoyed the stream and the donuts, and we'll be back for more stream and more donuts tomorrow. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being you, and I hope to see you again soon. Until I do, take care of yourselves, and remember that you are clawsome.